I'm not quite sure if we're live or if we're not live. Are we live?
No, nothing happening this end.
No, nothing's happening in my end. Technology is great if you're
If
under
you know what you're
30.
doing.
I think, yeah, awesome. I think, we are live. Brilliant.
That was
Brilliant.
a sigh of relief, wasn't it?
Just a little bit. Hi, Andy. Hi, Claire. Hey, you beauty. Who else is up there? Hey, Kay. Hey, Mike. I think that's everybody that's commented so far. If not, hello. Good evening to everybody. As per normal, the first hour, we don't swear. We don't have any adult conversation. But come 9 o'clock, we might drop out the odd swear word. There could be a bit of adult conversation going on. So if you've got any kids watching, remove them come 9 o'clock. Chris normally pops in and calls me every name under the sun. Bang on 9 o'clock. He's running very late. He's got a bit of a car issue going on, so no doubt he'll pop in a little bit later. Bear with me with the comments section and the questions, purely because we've got Dave on, so sometimes the comment section can go off on one. If you ask a question for me to put to Dave and I don't ask it, just put it again in the comments. On StreamYard, I've only got very small comments. I can only see like the last 5, so just keep putting it in until I mention it. And then we're all good. We're all away. Hi, Daniel. Uncle Dave.
Hello.
It's been a minute.
It has, hasn't it? Yeah, it's been a long time.
I am
a long time.
I'm a little bit disappointed.
Why is that?
Well, you're not eating. You haven't got a lollipop.
No. I've had my dinner.
You had your dinner.
Yeah, I've had my dinner. So I'm all sorted now. Yeah, it's been a crazy week. So it's literally like get in late, get showered, get eaten. I'm not going to lie. I've been to bed by 9 o'clock most of this week.
I've been bed early a few nights this week. Yeah. I found instead of going to the gym in the morning, I've been going straight after work. Hi, Laura. Just purely because energy levels have been a bit.
Yeah. I've got none.
Yeah. I reckon it's the weather. It's the sun, then the rain, then the sun, then the rain. I think for us blokes, it's all over for us.
Yeah, I think well, we both work outside, don't we? So it's I find you're hopping between showers and then you get soaking wet, get back in the cab, put the heating on to try and dry out, and then you're too hot. Then it's bleeding, you're back out again. It's on and off all day long. So it's pretty miserable. But then that being said, I'm not sure I could work in an office either. I've done a little bit of that, and I found that a bit of a struggle.
But, I like you popping in and out your cab. I get out my van, and then I'm on that. That's me until the job's finished.
Yeah.
So I get back in the van, dripping either from sweating because the sun's out, or dripping because it's absolutely hammered it down.
Yeah.
Although I did get to site the other day, and the site supervisor escorted me down to the machine. He was in his van, I was in mine, and he just wound his window down. He went, "I think we'll wait," and I went, "Yep," because the rain was just that heavy.
Yeah.
I was following him, thinking, "I hope you don't expect me to go out of cab in this."
Well, I turned up to a few jobs this week when the rain was really heavy. And I sort of sat there for a few minutes, and then I check on my phone, see when it's going to say it's going to blow over. And you're looking at it, and it's like, heavy rain for the next half hour. Oh, I'm going to have to get out now and get out there and do it. And that's the most miserable feeling. It's horrible.
That job was like, do you know when they put stone down?
Yeah.
Over the mud, and then about a year later, it's like mud and stone. It was one of them. So it's hammering it down that much that when I started the job, I walked across it, not a problem. My boots were a bit brown from the water. And then the sun come out. So by the time I finished it, I had clumps of mud stuck to me because half the water had dried up.
Yeah. And of course, you got the horrible thing of being on site, ain't you? And they're all bloody health and safety mats. So you got to wear all your bleeding ivy stuff. Sweat like a pig.
Full orange.
Yeah.
Long sleeves, everything.
Yeah.
rail standard as well, so it's thick.
Yeah, I honestly, Joe, it
On that
makes me
stuff.
laugh that health. They're so sure on health and safety, but you actually collapsing through heat exhaustion isn't a problem. That's fine. We just pick him up and move him along. It'll be all right. You know,
Yeah.
it's so crazy health and safety, and yet they're putting you through the worst of it.
Oh, literally,
Yeah,
literally.
it's like having
Um,
no shorts on quarries.
oh, don't get me started on that. No
Yeah,
shorts. Like
yeah,
what?
really crazy, isn't
If
it?
something's gonna come off a machine and cut your leg or bruise you, it's still gonna do the same thing if you're in shorts or trousers.
Yeah, yeah,
It's not
exactly.
gonna make a blind bit of difference.
No, no.
um, Mike says it's weird not to hear "hello guys" from Dave.
Hello, guys. Welcome to the live stream.
Cool Creature says strange to see Dave in a white t-shirt.
Yeah, it is a bit actually. Yeah, I don't wear a white t-shirt very often, do I? No, that's true. Yeah. Do you want me to go and change?
I reckon camera lady gets you the dark ones because she spilled your dinner.
Yeah, probably.
Just like
It's
me.
all the dribbling I do nowadays.
Inverted Bob just started a new job. Says health and safety. What's that?
God.
It's so true. Health and safety doesn't half change. You do a job on the road, nothing at all. Going
Yeah.
to one site, everything. Going to another site, yeah, you're all right. Crack on.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not across the board.
It's rubbish, isn't it? Absolute
Yeah.
rubbish. Yeah, it's just a wind up. Hey, never mind.
What have you got for the show and towel today, Dave? Says Claire.
I don't know. I'm sort of yeah. I'll be honest. I'm in limbo at the moment. I am in limbo. I've actually thinned down my spider collection quite substantially, and yeah, I want to try and concentrate on a few things and have less, if that makes sense. And then also as well, I've got that itch with the snakes again. So, but that's never ever gone away. I've always had that. So it's like I used to be into snakes, reptiles in a far bigger way than I am with spiders. Much bigger than what you think. I've got a big spider collection. You should have seen my reptile collection back in the day. It was phenomenal. And yeah, I've sort of I've got an inkling. There's projects and things that I never got round to doing in the reptiles that I'm now starting to feel like I wouldn't mind having another go at, and doing some of that. So yeah, I'm sitting in my room now, looking around, thinking, how can I change things? So yeah, I'm all in limbo at the moment. I
You've
really
got
don't know.
enough room in that garden to do another shed
Oh, I
with a
haven't.
with a
No.
with a little sticker on the door saying "venomous."
Well, yeah. I mean, I had toyed with the idea of putting venomous in this room, because we had venomous before, and then years ago I used to do quite a lot of stuff with them. So yeah, I wouldn't mind getting back onto that side of things. But the venomous side is a bit sort of it's very niche, and it's difficult to it's difficult to move stuff around
Yeah.
because there's not the amount of keepers out there.
Hi,
So
Kaylee.
so it's quite difficult to actually sort of like move stuff. So once you tend to find you buy something, then you're pretty much stuck with it. You're not going to move it on again in a hurry unless it's something that's pretty outrageous.
It would be pretty interesting to see a video where you literally go, well, this is Dave's Little Beasties now, and you take us through the whole process of the DWA from start all the way up to the very end.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
would
yeah.
be really interested. I mean, I know it's going to vary from council to council, but the fundamentals are pretty much going to be the same.
Yeah, generally, the only thing that you find differs is the different councils. Some of them put a little bit more weight on certain things, so they want different assurances and what have you. But yeah, the basic stuff is all pretty much there. I mean, unfortunately, when we had to move a few years ago, we were we were just at the point of actually transitioning over to venomous again. So I'd literally built a room, done everything out. I even had stock that I'd bought that hadn't taken delivery of. And then we ended up, our landlord came in and said, oh, I need the house back. And I was like, oh my God, I just spent about $5,000 doing a room out. And and literally in the blink of an eye, it all changed. And and I had a big collection then. And I ended up pretty much selling my whole collection within 24 hours. But it was all high-end sought after stuff. It was a lot of really sort of awkward stuff to acclimatise and what have you. Most of the stuff that I like is wild caught. So you just don't see that much of it in captive breds form. So obviously you then have to go down the route of wild caught stuff. But acclimatising a lot of that stuff is not easy. So where I was lucky was I had a big collection, but it was all fully acclimatised. So of course people were biting my arm off for it, and I literally sold pretty much sold my whole collection within 24 hours.
Jesus.
Yeah, I got to a point where I was so upset. I literally, landlord came around, we had a chat, worked out that I had to move out. Bearing in mind that the only reason I built the room and put all this work in was because I was told I was good for about 15 years. So me and Kelly decided that we would carry on there as if we were going to go long term, but we had no intention of staying there for 15 years. We were literally just going to do it and then spend our time finding the right house to buy. So it gave us a lot of breathing room, but that never came off. So I spent all this money, put all this work in and everything else just to find out right at the last minute that, hey, it's all fallen around our ears. So yeah, I done my whole collection, but it got to the point where I got that upset about it that I literally sat down and started listing stuff on Facebook. And I would list something, post it, and before I could finish writing the next one, the last one had been sold. And I never had people quibbling on prices or anything. Some of them I didn't even put a price on. They just said, I'll take it, just send me how much you want. And I was like, bang, it was like that. Yeah. I had a mad 24 hours.
Yeah, Beauty, I'll come to that question in a second. Interesting said I'll be devastated if I had to part with my snakes. Do you think you're close to just going, I ain't doing it no more?
What snakes? I'll be honest with you. The only thing that's slowed me down at the moment, and it's really caught me on the fence, is the pricing. I personally think the reptile market is pricing itself out of existence. And I've spoken to a number of people that involved with retail and what have you. And I think I've said this before. I've seen stock lists for different bits, and
yeah, it was my
they're no different from pre-Brexit in a lot of them with their pricing. And yet the prices that we're seeing for stuff is astronomical. I think the reptile trade, the retail side of it, has just grown really, really greedy, and I do believe it will kill the reptile hobby compared to what it used to be.
I think a lot of the shops are having to pay a hell of a lot more for energy, for rent, for tax, everything than what they've ever experienced before. And then obviously they're not going to cover the costs. It has to be on the price of the animal. So I don't think that's helping. just quickly before this comment disappears, Yeah Beauty says, Uncle Dave, thinking of buying the same Barana lights for my collection. Can you remember whether yours are the warm white or the bright ones, please?
I've used both. I've actually got both of them on the go. I prefer
Hey, Mark.
the brighter light. I find the warm light. Is it the warm one? Is a little bit yellowy.
Yeah.
It's got a little bit of a yellowy tinge to it. I'm not overly keen on that. I prefer a crisp, clean white light. But I've used them both equally the same. So yeah, they're good lights. They do work really, really well. And the fact that you can daisy chain them all, you can have you could have 24-foot lights running off of one plug. It's brilliant. It's lovely. And that's one of the reasons that I really go for them, is because I can literally cut down on the amount of plugs. It's an interesting thing actually saying that about the plugs. When in my old reptile room, I had about 120 double sockets. So that was over 200 plugs. That was running lights and heaters and everything. So that gives you an idea of the size of my collection.
Jesus.
Yeah. Make your eyes water, wouldn't it?
It's a shame you weren't doing YouTube then.
Oh, God, yeah. It would have been great.
This is going to breed female Vietnam blue possibly next week. She's huge, an angry bugger though. Claire says, I've got 2 corn snakes. One of them is an albino. Mark the Spider Guy says hi.
Oh, Mark.
And yeah, Beauty said, thanks, fantastic, thanks. Bright white it is then.
Yeah. I say I've used both of them. I like them both, but I prefer the clear light. Yeah.
Nice lecky bill there as well, says Vix.
Yeah, you think it was a bit cheaper back then?
It was.
I mean, even now, I use quite a lot, but I try not to look at it as individually bits. So I tend to I just look at like our regular monthly or quarterly bill. I'm a bit of a coward really, because I don't actually deal with it. The her indoors does all of that side of stuff.
The enemy does as well. I don't.
Yeah, and so I never really
can't do the bills.
I mean, one of the only thing actually saying about that is I filled the pond up a few weeks back, and it was just after a couple of weeks after that we had our water bill come in, and our water bill doesn't change; it's always about the same. And Kelly said to me, she goes, "Do you want to hear about the water bill?" I was like, "No, not really. As long as it ain't, is it paid? That's all I worry about." She goes, "It was £150 more this time round than last time." She goes, "Any ideas?" I was like, "Oh no, I don't see why. Why? What was that?" She goes, "Something to do with the 40,000 litres that you let slip out of the garden pond, maybe." I was like, so it basically cost 150 quid to fill the pond.
We're not on a water meter.
You're lucky.
That's the way. Yeah, but because the boys with the autism and that, they're not going to put one in either.
Yeah.
You see, because they thrive with water, and the water company knows that, so that's what they do help.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah, I'll say it's my bill coming 150 quid more, and I've had to and then obviously we still had a leak, so I lost all of that, and then I dried it all out and I redone it all and repainted it all, and I've just recently filled it all again.
You're going to have that same water bill conversation at the end of this month, then?
Yeah, it's going to be the same thing again. So the only good thing is we ain't sprung a leak this time. We're actually holding water, so we're all good now. So yeah,
you should have put some paddling pools in the truck.
Oh, I needed something.
Hey, Boo.
I really needed something, yeah. But yeah, no, it's we're holding water now, so we're good.
Yeah. Mike says 120 double sockets, each with a 4-gang extension. National Grid thought they had a power leak.
Yeah, and to believe it or not, I did have multiple 4-gangs coming off of different ones. Yeah, I had a lot of stuff on the go. A lot of stuff. Yeah. It's all got to be done though. That's the problem. It's got to be done.
Yeah. I think I've got me lights plugged in at the moment, a small fan, and the heater. That's it.
Yeah.
That
I
is
think
it.
if you can keep things down to a sort of minimum, then it's going to be better. I mean, that's the other downside as well. If I ended up getting more reptiles, then obviously I don't actually need much in the way of external heat because I heat my room, and the majority of the sort of stuff that I like, I can keep without extra heating. You know, there's enough heat in the room to keep them more than happy, and then the lights themselves generate heat, so they will generate that few degrees hotspot. You don't need massive hotspots.
Oh,
You know,
you never guess who's coming to the comments.
what's that? Hey, Noah.
Yeah. Evening, Scott and Dave. Happy to catch a surprise live from you guys. Always nice to see you, Dave. I'll be on and out on the live. Hope you guys are well. I'm
Yay,
good,
good to
Noah.
see you. Good to see you. Hope life is treating you well.
Yeah. Noah used to be really, really active. QB says, what insects are in the books for kids? Is it just snails? The invert shows it just depends. Depends. You can never say there will definitely be this or there'll definitely be that. It's just go and have a look on the day. Mott Spider Guy has been a channel member for 59 months.
Wow. 59 months.
It doesn't feel like I've been monetized that long. Wow. That's some support. Cheers, Mark. Appreciate it, man.
That's a long time. Well done.
Channel members do get a little discount over at Spa Spiders. Yeah.
That's impressive, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. It cracks me up when the wife says YouTube's just come out and she's a channel member. I'm like, what? And she says, well, it's support. So I'm like, okay. Wingy's going to buy spiders, but then also puts money into the channel for me to do what I do.
You do realise that she's put your housekeeping up 10 quid a week.
do you know what? She says, oh, the bills are this much. And I'll just send it.
Yeah.
Right on payday. Never question it. Never look through it. And then every now and again, it's like, what about skin? She's like, oh no, I put 100 quid away. I'm like, where did that come from?
Yeah. That's how it works, though, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's
but I'm not going to complain about it, that's for sure.
It's strange.
Noah says, doing well, Dave and Scott. Thanks very much. Used to be active, Scott. Hey, well, lives happened. Always loves Dave's big smile when he sees my name on the lives. Absolutely love the videos.
Hey, great job.
Yeah, good lad. Good lad. I think he's been following as boy and man.
Yeah. He was at school when he first started.
Yeah. Crazy.
It was at school all the way from Canada.
He disappeared for a bit, and we were like, "Have you heard from Noah? No. Have you heard from Noah? No. Where is he?"
I know we had the Noah search parties out. I had everyone out looking for him.
Yep.
Yeah. I got all a bit worried. He just disappeared. Had me worried. But yeah, no, good to see he's doing well.
You attending Bristol?
Yes, we will be at Bristol.
Awesome.
Yeah. We're doing Bristol, Coventry, obviously the Eastleigh one here. We'll be at the Essex show as well. I think that's it, isn't it? I'm not sure if we're doing Peterborough. Maybe Peterborough. I can't bloody remember.
Coventry is Bristol's a big show. Bristol is a very big show.
Yeah.
Coventry's bigger.
Bristol. Yeah.
This year, Coventry is absolutely massive.
We done Coventry last year. Yeah.
Well,
we had a good day.
That big room?
Yes.
There's now 2 of them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, both. Do you know when you got one? You got that room on the left hand side, and then you've got the other venue dead opposite.
Yeah.
Both of them.
Oh,
Floor
crikey.
floor space. It's like the biggest.
Bloody hell. Might be interesting to see how that works out.
Kay says can't wait for the Bristol show. Looking forward to seeing you both.
Yeah,
Gunn
it'll be
said, is
good.
there a show in Brighton? There is, yeah. Well, there was.
Well,
Noah says, yeah.
Brighton's been swapped for Eastleigh, hasn't it?
Oh, yeah, of course it has.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, boys, I was in school when I first started following, and now I work in healthcare. I still find it really touching how worried you two got when I disappeared, particularly you, Dave, says Noah. You'd be surprised. I remember the PMs from Dave from when you disappeared, Noah. And yeah, a lot of genuine concern. Yeah, Beauty says we need both of you at Glasgow, even for a one-off.
God.
I can't because I'll tell you why I can't. Right, I don't sell at shows or anything like that. So I don't. There's no income as such. So when it comes to August, my boys, as a lot of you know, autistic with ADHD, and Leo is more autistic than the ADHD side. So when it comes to staying away from home, he's very much a no. So what we do is we spend a week. I take a week off work in August, so we don't go to the show, and we take them all over the place for that week. So I'll drive to the Sea Life Centre in Birmingham, or drive a further bit up north, maybe to Space Centre or something. We spend the day out there, come back, and then go again the next day. So that's the main reason I don't do Glasgow, is because the money that month I am absolutely broke because we just go all out for the kids for a week in the summer holiday. That's our holiday. But if you think about it, you know the sellers, the likes of TSS who organise the shows, you know they've got the big companies have got big income, so they can go off and they've got helpers and all the rest of it. They've got several drivers to take them all these places as well. The likes of me and Dave, it's just well, it's a long blooming way.
Yeah, I think the big thing for us is that it's not just a 1 day show. That would take up three to 4 days for us, because we'd need to travel up on the Saturday. I mean, obviously, getting ready for the show is the same for any other show. I mean, it takes us like a week to get ready for a show, really, because you've got to rebox all the spiders, redo everything, check everything. You know, there's a lot more goes into it. A lot of people, when they go to a show, they just turn up and they thought, yeah, well, it only took me an hour to get here, and it's a great day. Yeah, well, it took us a week to get there, really. You know,
Yep.
and then the same after the show. So with Glasgow, we'd end up having to travel up early morning Saturday to get up there for like afternoon Saturday, stay overnight in a hotel, then do the show. Then we'd finish the show and have to do another night in a hotel, because no way do we want to drive 10 hours home. And then, you know what I mean? So it's for us, it's like 3 days expense before we've done anything at all, you know, and it ain't cheap, you know, driving. I mean, I don't know what the mileage is from me, but you know,
A
you're
lot.
probably looking at a tank of fuel each way. Then
You think
hotels,
London to Glasgow? Yeah, a lot.
yeah, yeah. You think, you know, then there's hotel bills, and then it's not even just the hotels. You know, you got to feed yourself, and you'll probably go out in the evening or whatever. It's just a very, very expensive thing. And then even then, once we get home after 3 days, I will probably still need to book another day off just to recover from the 3 days. So it probably cost me 4 days in all.
Hey Apex, even everyone a few days since I had time to catch a live stream. Good to see you. Noah
Yeah,
says you're a good man. You have lots of subscribers and noticed my absence. Very cool to him. Yeah, Beauty, totally understand, guys. I just need to get my ass further down to another show then. Wigan. Should have come down to Wigan.
yeah. I missed Wigan. I think there was. Well, we done Bournemouth show. which I think was like the week before or week after, one or the other, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was a week before.
I think there's like a week difference.
People messaged me about Bournemouth saying, "You're coming Bournemouth." I'm like, I physically just can't afford it, as well as And then a lot of the smaller shows, the owners message saying, "Oh, can you come to my show? You know, or we'll get you in." And I'm like, I physically just can't afford it.
Yeah, but to be honest with you, the Bournemouth show this year was the biggest. I mean, this is its third year now, and they reckoned through the door they were looking at 2,000 people through the door.
Ooh.
That's a big show. You think most shows average out about 1,500-1,600?
Invert shows about 2,000. Wigan about 1,500. That was a quiet one.
Yeah.
BTS, I think that was 2.3.
BTS was big this year. There was a lot of people.
Pretty sure it was 2.3.
Yeah,
maybe wrong. Maybe wrong. Hopefully, one of the committee members pops in tonight and says, Gunn says, used to be a regular viewer of the channels, but had a challenging couple of years back now, finally looking to get started in the hobby.
Hey, awesome.
Spiders will outsort those challenging years out. Trust me. Trust me. You got something on your plate, go chill your spiders.
Yeah.
Your other half not annoys you, go chill your spiders. Kids annoy you, some external factors going on, go feed your spiders.
Do you know what? It's one of
spiders take down food will do so much good for your soul.
Yeah, yeah. I think this is like the happy space. It's like walking into a different world when I come in here. Different room. It's nice.
Well, the wife was like very much like when we moved here 2 years ago. She says everything can go in the shed. No spiders in the house. Okay. There's currently 6 species of millipede in the other room and about 20 spiders. And the rest is down the shed.
Yeah.
So even when I wander around the house, we're there. Frankie J UK, Dave took the mick out of me. I was carrying my work diary with my wanted species list in my hand at BTS this year. Awesome.
If what I remember, it was quite some list as well. Yeah.
Mark said he's had to miss a couple of shows this year. Absolutely good. Hey, miss BTS. But sometimes you have to do what's good for yourself and your health, that's for sure. Noah says, got to pop off now, gentlemen. If I can, I'll pop in later. If not, I'll watch the replay tomorrow. Good night, gentlemen. Night, Noah. Take care.
Good night, buddy. Take it easy.
Mike says, BTS was amazing. Was in my hyper-focus element. My wife, on the other hand, my wife loves BTS because you got the night before. It's like everything's 10 minutes up the road. And obviously BTS, the wife comes and jumps with you and camera lady, and she's in her element.
Yeah, it's lovely having her.
I'll tell you what, she comes away so happy, and like she'll go, "Oh, me and camera lady." Well, obviously it's not first names, but you know, we were this and we were that. Somebody come over and this and that, and I'm like, "Do you know how knackered I am?"
Honestly, I tell you what, it's like. When we do it like that, we had five tables this year at BTS, and you ever tried running 5 tables on your own?
I got round to you a bit later on in the day, and it was like 5 tables. It was just like, where was all the stock gone?
Oh yeah, we had a really really good day, but it was literally they were sitting there going, "You got help?" I'm like, "Have you seen them two? They just sit nattering." They literally do sit there now. I'm like, "Hey girls, any help?" You know,
they've got eyes on table, and they look pretty.
Well, yeah.
Harry says, "It was great to see you filming at the Northwestern show again, Scott. Maybe next year I'll say hello, and you'll get me on for the video for the 4th time." Look, right, I wander around these shows with the camera in my hand, and I look like a grumpy old man, but I'm not. Just come and say hello. I've just got one of them faces. Do you know what I mean? I just look grumpy. Just stop me, say hello. I won't bite unless it's the wife. She will bite. Let me just go down these comments quickly. Need to try and get to the BTS show next year. Been planning it for the last 2 years, but still didn't happen. The wife, oh God, she's in the comments, says, yeah, until you have sorted the rest of the shed out, the millipedes, I don't mind, the spiders you can get out.
Where am I?
She was putting the kids to bed. I didn't think she was watching the live as well. Where are we going? Harry says, I moved to Germany in October, but I hope to come back for every show going forward. It would be great to catch you at 1-2, Dave, one day.
Yeah, make sure you come over and say hello.
I've literally just gone past a couple of comments. Let me try and scroll back up. Kay says, I feel lists are always extensive. I'm new to the hobby and already have a list as long as my arm. You see, I don't do lists. And the reason I don't do lists is because then I go to a show and I'll come back with something a bit strange, or maybe something that I never even thought about, or like the recent video, 3 different types of roach that I've decided, like, oh, look at them. I'm very impulsive. If I have a list at a show, my ADHD would make me feel very disappointed if I haven't got everything on it. So I don't bother. And it is. You go to the shows, and no matter who you are, if you've got a list, and if you don't get those particular spiders, when you walk away, you feel disappointed, and that's not how you should feel coming away from a show. Aston's Creepy Crealer says, what would you say is the biggest show? I could tell you what the biggest show is this year. So BTS was absolutely massive. Floor space, Coventry's bigger. But it seems like everybody has the battle of how many people come through the door. I would say when it comes to what's the biggest show, I can't swear yet, I've got 10 minutes, but who cares? It's what show you absolutely love and enjoy going. That's what you should be thinking about. You don't have to go to the biggest show or wherever it is, or the most popular one. Just go to the shows you can get to, is what I say.
Yeah, I mean,
I sit watching for sticky fingers, says Tara.
She does, actually. She's very good at that.
For those that don't know, my wife she's got wonky eyes, so one looks this way and one looks that way. So she's got more of a peripheral vision than any of us.
No, to be honest with you, it's an absolute godsend to have an extra pair of eyes on there, because unfortunately, and I'm sure many of the other traders will tell you, there are some light-fingered individuals out there. And all I can say is, God help the day I catch someone red-handed.
Well, me and Tim have already said, if we clock somebody stealing, they'll get thrown out of the show. Yep, sound. We will follow you outside of the show and kick the shit out of you. End of story.
That's a good idea.
And I'll also video it and put it in one of my YouTube videos. I don't care. I really don't care. First offence, I'll probably get a little slap on the wrist and told, on your way. It's as simple as that.
I think it's terrible. It's a terrible side of the hobby.
Every single show, you hear about something. BTS, yep. Invert shows, yep. All the smaller shows, definitely. Yeah. Would have loved to have come to the last Invert show. How are your amphibians, Dave? Would love a video of them all soon, especially Odin, says Travis.
Well, we are actually, I am in the process of building a new tank for Odin. So I'm sort of like doing little bits and filming bits and pieces, and then eventually we'll make a video out of it. This is probably not going to be his forever enclosure. I've done this one just purely to try a few bits and pieces out. And then providing it all works, then I've got plans to put him in a larger thing. But I don't want to go straight out large and then find my ideas don't work. So hence we're going to go a little bit smaller to start with. But that is coming. And I also need to do something with my mossy frogs as well. I need to change them out. They need a new enclosure. So, but I've done, because I've recently got a couple of new snakes. They've sort of taken enclosures that I had earmarked for other things. So yeah, it's a bit of a. I'm in the process. I'm changing things around. It's terrible. I can't say too much because I don't really know what I'm going to do myself yet.
Gun says, can anyone please recommend a heat pad with a thermostat for Asian forest scorpions? Yeah, you want to heat them above the ground because they'll burrow down to get out of the heat. Dan says, this is an awkward one. Says, who has more tarantulas, Scott or Dave? I'm going to say it's Dave, but I'm going to say this. When it comes to whoever's got the most tarantulas in the hobby or whoever's got the biggest collection, it makes no odds. It's the passion behind it all, and I think mine and Dave's passions are obviously there. Do you know what I mean? So never worry about who's got the biggest collection or whose dad's bigger than the other dad and all that type of crap. It's always about the passion and the enthusiasm. I've got very good friends in the hobby that haven't got inverts at all. They've got major passion for it because of circumstances. They haven't actually got any. They still in the hobby? Of course they are.
Yeah, I think you should gauge your collection on the amount of enjoyment you get out of it.
Well, you could say, oh, I've got 1,000 spiders, but you might have paired up about 3 LPs.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think
it's happened at the shows at Sawful or the Steeling. Yeah, of course it has. It happens. It's not just shows, it's shops, it's every event, isn't it? Unfortunately.
Yeah. It's one of them. It's one of them little evils that will never go away.
Does indeed. Someone got booted at BTS this year. Scumbags. Yeah, that was an older woman as well.
We had an old woman at one of the other shows, one of the invert shows as well, if you remember.
Yeah.
Old woman in a wheelchair.
I think that's the same one.
Same woman. Well, she normally runs around with a couple of little toe rags. She's got a couple of right scruffy looking oppos that they seem to work. The 3 of them sort of work away, and it's not uncommon for them to. They'll try and engage you in conversation while the other one nips up the other end of the tables and helps themselves, and then she seems to pocket everything.
Maybe I need to bring a couple of the old Coventry lot to the Coventry show that aren't even into spiders. That can have a wander around.
Yeah.
No, they won't get too shy. Mike says her own getaway vehicle too.
Yeah, that is it. Well, she got caught sort of pretty much red-handed at one of the shows.
And now you know. You think her and camera lady are just sitting there chatting.
Yeah.
They've got that table locked down, Dave. They've got it locked down.
Yeah.
Dan says, I was going to go to the Wigan one closest to me, but was busy. Might see if any more come up semi-local.
Yeah, I think this. If you live in the middle of the country, you're in a pretty good spot because you're not far away from any of them. But where we are down in the south here, everywhere's a bit of a travel.
I'm in a terrible position. I mean, the Coventry show is 15 minutes from my house. BTS is 15 minutes from my house. Terrible. Well, I mean, the drive to the Coventry show and the BTS, I mean, it really takes it out on me.
Yeah, I bet it don't even demiss the bleeding windscreen, does it?
Nope.
It was funny actually because someone said to me at the Bournemouth show, they were like, "Oh, this must be brilliant! It's literally on your doorstep. You're not far away." And for us, it's literally 15, 20 minutes. It's not far at all. But the difference is, I was there at 7 o'clock in the morning, helped setting up all the tables and everything, and I was still there at 6 o'clock in the evening. So, in actual fact, the closest show to me is the longest one for me. Because if I was like I'd done the others and I travel, I would literally turn up, get there for 8 o'clock, and I'd be packing up at 3 o'clock and going home.
Do you not find though people go, well, Dave, it's your local show, so they expect you to be absolutely packing those tables out? Harry, I've got frogs, and I've got my lad's got axolotls and shrimps as well. I've got a 4-foot fish tank which I still haven't set up.
Yeah, no, that'd be cool. Who's this? Aston Creepy Crawlies. I love reptiles. I've got them before spiders. Yeah, you're not wrong there.
Osmeister, let's not complain about distance now. Osmeister, for those in chat that don't know, just put in your total mileage from your house to BTS. Does Dave do a table at the shows? Dan.
Where have you been?
One of the most popular tables at the show. Yeah, it's always tables. There's always a couple.
We will have we're going to have a lot of enclosures for Bristol.
Oh,
We've got a lot. We've each show. I think the last 3 shows we've taken a lot of enclosures. So yeah, I'm having a right old sort out.
Kay says, Dave, what happened to the road Kraken slings up in the air?
We just collected them all up. They were they're surprisingly easy. They're not difficult once they're we're out and about like that. They're easier to catch like that than they are inside the enclosure, to be honest.
Yeah, Beauty reluctantly had to sell the whole collection of 150 last year for personal reasons at the time, but back now just focusing on the species I prefer. Do you know what? It's like when I had my issue and we had a lot of spiders die, it's almost like a reset button.
Yeah.
So you kind of sit back and you go, do I need 3 of these again? No. Do I want 1? Yeah. So you can really kind of take your time about what you want to do, what spiders you want to get. Where are we? Osman says it's 580 miles from his house to BTS, plus an hour and a half ferry drive.
Wow.
Dedication.
Yeah, that's a lot.
You both may have answered this a lot before. It says but I'd love to know what your first or most memorable tarantula was and why it springs to mind.
Well, mine would have been back in the days when Smithy was Smithy. Yeah, that would have been the very first tarantula I ever had. It was a red knee, and I was very young, really young.
I had an LP for a long time. Even when I was homeless, I had my LP in the hostel. It's when I bought it. Smuggled it into the hostel. And literally just...
Shut your fucking ugly gob, you fucking stupid ginger fucking cunt.
As you probably guessed, it's 9 p.m. and I forgot to put the warnings out. Hey up, Chris.
He couldn't have got better timing there because literally my lights all go out on a timer, bang on 9 o'clock. And as soon as they started flicking off, he came straight on. Perfect timing.
Harry says, has either of you ever taken a bite or a sting from anything you've kept? Yes. My son with autism bites me every now and again. So does the wife. But when it comes to insects, only ever have I been bitten or stung by UK native species, never by anything that I've kept. Why? Because I don't handle my stuff.
Yeah, that's the way to go. That is the way to go.
Vic says, I think the only multiples I have are Thai bamboo spiders, Metallica, Regalis. Everything else I try to keep to 1. Yeah, Beauty says Chris is here. This is a good one. Do you guys boil and cool water before filling up water bowls? I have been, but heard tap water is fine. Tap water is fine, but
Yeah, all I do with mine is I keep mine in big tubs, and I just let them sit, and then I use them up as I need them. So, and then quite often as not, because they're kept in the room as well, especially if I spray any of my enclosures, the actual water that's going through there is at room temperature already. So I don't get that. You'll see people when they literally fill up their sprayer straight out the tap, and then they'll spray their enclosure. That's generally cold water. So I find by keeping it in tubs in my room, one, it stays at room temperature, so it's always at the same temperature as my enclosures are, and also it allows for any chlorines and bits and pieces to evaporate or whatever.
I was pretty lucky. I've got a 3-stage osmosis system, which
Nice.
Basically my mate's already got one, and he bought a load of fish stuff, and this one came with it, and he said, "Do you want it?" I said, "Yeah." Changed the filters in it, and I use that. And the only reason I use that is after talking to 8-Legged Emporium, which is Charlie G. When he buys his water from a fish shop as opposed to out of tap. And he says when he sprays the enclosure down, you get less watermarks down the side of the glass. And it's true. If you've got an osmosis system or some sort of filtration system, it takes out all the hard particles and everything. That is it. It's not necessarily to make sure your spider's all right. Although I have found that springtails do a lot better in dechlorinated water when they're sprayed with dechlorinated as opposed to with chlorinated.
Yeah, you got to be careful with. I used to buy water from a local fish shop, and I found my frogs didn't do particularly well in it, and certainly my tadpoles didn't do well in it. And the reason being is because they run that osmosis system through their aquariums. It takes out all the minerals in the water.
Yeah, so you can get the remineralizing tablets, can't you? You just drop it in.
Yeah, which is probably what you need to do. I mean, I used it for some time, and then I came off of it. I found the results weren't particularly good for me, but yeah, you can treat it again.
Susan uses bottled because down here tap water is awful. I'm pretty sure. Laura says, "Dave, can I come round your house and raid the enclosures, please?"
I had to check her pockets when she came round last time. Oh, you worry, Laura. You're always welcome.
Osmosis water is too clean, really, says Osmo.
Yeah, that's the whole thing that I was suffering with.
I think it's fine for your spiders, but yeah, for things like frogs and fish, a lot of them do need it remineralized. But Alan's here from the fish shop, so he should be able to answer any of the questions on that one in the comments. Osman says, luckily the tap water in the Netherlands is like bottled water, no issues here.
He's lucky.
Because the Netherlands is very, very clean. Very, very clean.
Mm.
The UK government, unfortunately, let's not go there. Harry says, how do you heat all of your animals? Also, I keep buying bottled spring water for frogs, not liking the amount of plastic it uses, but I don't trust anything else. It seems to work for him.
Yeah, I think the
oil radiator.
Yeah, but it depends on the animal. It's like if you heat the Gibeah the dragon, it's a heat lamp. If you heat the snake,
yeah,
it depends on what you want to achieve. It's like if you heat roaches, it's a heat mat. If you heat the room, then it's just everybody heated to the same temperature.
Yeah, I think you can run things like for me, I heat my room, but I get my hot spots through my lighting.
Yeah.
So you can play with your lighting to get what you want in that respect. As we were saying earlier on, for the snakes, I find with my room, I don't need any external heat for them. My room is enough. and then the lights, depending on how high I have the light above where I put their resting areas, so I can adjust their resting area in the enclosure, the height of that, to bring them either closer to the light or take them further away. You don't need massive, huge gradients in hotspots. I don't think so anyway. I've never found that necessary.
Got any white whales left or collected everything you wanted? Says Has. The issue I think that we've all got in the hobby is you never get everything. And even if you did, there's still species out there that which one you just can't obtain. There's some South African baboons out there that are just simply not in the hobby. There's tons of spiders that aren't in the hobby. Yeah. Same with the Scottish water. Thankfully, I just fill my bottles at night and then leave them in the spider room to come up to the same temperature overnight.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, Scottish water is quite clean. I've noticed that as well.
It's, yeah, when I go, if I travel up north, the tap water up north doesn't agree with me too well, but the Scottish stuff's always been all right when I've been in Scotland. One for Dave. At BTS, you had tubs of emerald roaches. Do you have any left? And can I pop you a message if you have?
Well, I've got thousands. Literally thousands. I've got a huge emerald colony.
Weren't it like £35 for 5 when they first come out? And you got like 5 females, and the males were like just kept back.
Well, I think I sell mine as mixed sizes. So the sexes is, you're going to get a mixture in there. And they're also, I did see someone online selling individual males for 15 quid each.
Fucking hell.
And believe it or not, there was people moaning. They were like, "Oh, I wish I'd seen that quicker. I'd have had that. And I'm sitting here thinking, I've got hundreds of males. Maybe I should sell them at £15 each. Unbelievable.
Yeah, you wouldn't be Dave's little beasties if you did.
But it's just shocking, isn't it?
That's the big difference. Yeah,
shocking. Someone putting them out at £15 each.
Damn.
I nearly fell over.
You should see the price of some of the millipedes on like pre-loved. It's like £35-40 for an African train millipede. 15 quid from TSS. Somebody's literally buying them from TSS and then tripling the price purely just to whack it on. What is the most underrated tarantula or invert you guys have ever kept and absolutely loved? Curly hair, by a long shot. By an absolute long shot. They're always referred to as a beginner spider, and then once people have been in the hobby for a while, they forget about them. I think curly hairs are, for me anyway, one of the most underrated spiders. Years ago, it was always like, oh, you always get a curly hair in a mystery box. It was like like people taking the mickey, like they weren't as valuable as the rest of the spiders. But you get a decent curly hair, and they are absolutely gorgeous.
There's a lot of variety in them as well.
Osman says Scotland is probably the cleanest water in the world from tap. Pretty new ones to the hobby on the spider shop slings at the minute. I picked up a few. Vic says Reptirad attached to the Viv ceiling and set at temperature on a dimming stat works well for them.
Yeah, I use them. I've got a couple of them. They're powerful. Them Reptirabs are really, really powerful.
Mike says we've got some hard water here. Offers us a fight. Seriously, kills out tap.
How do you stop
whoever was after a Solanus, you've got the man Tim Baxter himself in. So Geoscorps is where you want to be going for your scorps. Alan sent you a message, Dave. How do you stop flies with your emeralds, Dave? I bought some a few weeks ago, says Osmeister. It says, Beauty, sorry. I bought some a few weeks ago and now I'm giving mine away to Bart, just one more, as I can't deal with the flies they're attracting.
Forage
Yeah, I
fly.
think with that is the thing with the emerald roaches. Once you get a good sized colony on the go, they're like any other roach. They're a bit of a pain to clean out because the youngsters, they eat a lot of the frass and all the rest of it. So they are a bit of a nuisance. And then because they do attract the flies, but the trick is to get them in something that's fly proof. So I use a tank very similar to the custom aquaria tanks with sliding glass front doors, and then I just fly proof them, and then that way I don't get no issues. You'll get a few fruit flies in the actual enclosure, but they're not coming out. And so you asked, the next question is how did they get in there in the first place? Normally, when you open the door and you put the food in, a fly will fly in there, and that is how they start. So once they're in, and they are buggers to get out. But yeah, they're a small price to pay, really.
Harry, how did CITES affect the cost of embryo scorpions when you find them, which you never seem to in the UK? It gave light to the fact that in the UK we needed captive bred. And again, Geoscorps went away and did that. We have plenty. Harry, CITES drove them through the roof as all imports stopped in 2013. Yeah, Geoscorps got them on the website. Could be an offensive question. Oh, we like offensive questions. But these beautiful roach colonies, are people buying them as feeders or as pets? Both.
I would have said more pets because they're expensive. They're quite expensive still. So yeah, I couldn't imagine too many people. Although saying that, I did think just for a bit of clickbait, I might feed one to one of my fancy spiders. But yeah.
I'm I've got a couple now, and I'm like, the little Kenyans I've not long had them, and they've had babies in the substrate, and I'm like, that is sling size.
Yeah.
Harry says, does this mean they're all captive bred? If so, that's great. I think more of that should be happening. That's all Geoscorp sell, Harry, is captive bred scorpions. I could never ask on Invert Lives, thanks guys. And do it, Dave. I'll drop a pretend hate comment for the roaches. If you do go over to geoscorps.co.uk, I think it's Scott5 as a discount code. That might help you out, Harry.
Change it to Scots of Anchor.
Yeah, Beauty says dubias and Turkestan colonies as feeders, but emeralds as pets here. I don't know. It's a lot of people look at me strange when I say this, but have you ever fed a large hisser to a large spider? It's very sadistic, but the hissing sound and the crunching sound is...
Yeah, but the hissers especially, they're very good for feeding up your females after pairing.
Exactly.
I think all of my big Theraphosas, giant hissers.
Yeah, same.
Harry kept a ghost mantis last year. Since
at one point,
of the Drosophila flies escaped. I found one the other day. No idea where they've been surviving for the long just spawn in. Osmosis finally has 2 scorpions. Super excited, super fascinating. Should have got them way sooner. I think with the flies, I had an issue this year. So the thing with the fruit flies is they will go into your sink, and they can lay eggs in the little U-bend thing, maggots and all the rest of it down there, and they can pop out at any time. And me and the wife walked into the kitchen, and we got an open top bin because one of the kids broke the top to it, and literally about 50 tiny fruit flies just went beep, flew up. I was like, oh shit. So I put about 20 fly traps up, and that eliminated them. And that was not my fault. That was because, well, it was, but it's not. I'll explain the situation. When you buy spiders, sometimes if you get them from particular sellers, you take the lid off and about 20 flies come out. And it's really, really, really fucking annoying. Because to me, it's like this spider must have been in there a long time for it to have the flies and everything. Do you know what I mean? Well, but and then if you open it up in the house, you're going to get flies again and again. Osmond's hooked. Yeah, and I don't need a license. No, Osmond don't need DWA over there. Vic says, my adult bamboo female loves hissers. They're the only thing she actively hunts. Picking up a nice size sturmy next week, so I'll be keeping hissers soon again, 2 as snacks. Somebody said, has anybody ever kept an Aphnopalma moray? Oh, there you go.
They're not something I've done anything with. I've had
you need 50
one.
in your meter.
I know, it's gone funny, isn't it? I don't know why. I don't know.
Probably wife watching some TV.
And my moray is far too small for me. It's about a comet. It's still in a sling pot. And I've had it ages.
It's getting worse. What's going on with my Wi-Fi?
What's up with you old people and internet? You never get it working. Scott's worse.
I've got to apologise as well, right?
I've literally got.
I'll set the advert.
I've literally got a direct feed in my room.
You look like a Salvador Dali painting, Dave. Dave, do you need a male sturmy?
Oh. Yes, I can use one.
Message him. Good control for flies. I drop Syria.
I need one as well.
Oh yeah, Alan.
Yeah, send me a message. I can use it.
Split some of mine and bring them to the cough show. That'd be awesome. Androdectus Australia soon, says Osman. Hopefully, Hotland Totty, Tamulus. Oh, he's getting the good stuff. Have the lid with foam. You can slide it to the side slightly, grab the flies one by one. That's what I do when feeding fruit flies.
I tell you what, I'm going to drop off of this and see if I can come back on again.
Yeah.
Okay.
See if it livens my thing up.
What I do with fruit flies is just put them in the fridge. And they go very dormant, and you can empty them into a smaller sling pot and then just tap them into whatever slings that you're wanting to feed. He'll be back in a minute.
Hopefully.
Probably because he's down in the shed. Osman, Tim says, be very careful with Australis. Osman, no room forever. Lethally dangerous. Osman says, yeah, I know. Tamulus the same, if not worse. I'm looking forward to Brighton's show.
Which one?
Brighton. 26th of July.
That's fucking Bristol, you dickhead.
Bristol show. Sorry.
Fucking knobhead, you are.
Every year is a good one.
It's one of the best shows we have there. Isn't it?
I put normal flies in the fridge as they're annoying for escaping, says Claire. Put all the flies in the fridge, and then it slows them right down.
Slows any insect down, doesn't it?
I mean, I bought flightless fruit flies from a seller once. Took the lid off those, and they flew out, went everywhere. Because the issue is they're only flightless for a generation or two, and then after that, they're not.
Yeah.
Shouldn't have said anything. Scott would have turned up to Brighton.
Actually, probably. That's what I said when he said, I'm looking forward to Brighton. I was like, you're looking forward to a show fucking next year? I'm like, you fucking lost your numbnut.
Sweaty show, Bristol, says Tim. The back room gets warm. The first massive room, that's normally all right. But the back room, what that was it about 3 years ago when it was super, super hot outside? We had big fans by the exits and all sorts.
That is one of the hottest shows, is it?
Yeah.
Fucking middle of the year. Even if it's raining outside, it's still fucking stupid fucking hot.
Time of the year, isn't it? What are your thoughts on centipedes? Do you think their reputation is deserved? Nope. I've got plenty of centipedes. Love them all. You keep them correctly, they're not escape artists. is what I've found. I think the only issue with scorpions is literally on rehousing and feeding. If you're going to feed scorpions, if you're going to feed your centipede, thank you. Don't dig them up or anything like that. Just put the live feed in, leave it for 24 hours. If it's been munched, happy days. If not, take it back out again.
Yeah, I agree with Tim. The back room does start smelling at some point. They need to keep the windows open. That's the fucking thing.
No, the traders need to use deodorant then, because they're the ones that are in there all day.
Oh, nice one, Claire. Where from?
I've just had a £50 mystery box off A-Legged Emporium.
Nice.
£80 worth of spiders in there. What's Tim trying to say about everybody in Bristol? Oh, from Mantis Mayhem. Where is Dave? Let me quickly message him. Cases I'm from Bristol, don't blame him. Dave's legged it. Cobalt Blue just popped out of his air conditioning. It's a mix of spiders and mantis from Mantis Mayhem. Oh, I've just messaged him. I just said, has the internet crashed or? He'll be back on in a minute. The £60 mystery box from Spar I bought during the live feed was awesome. Only one in there I already had. Oh yeah, they're the BTS ones though. Nobody beats Luke on mystery boxes when he pops them out for BTS and the live stream after. They actually did a handout links to people at one of the reptile shows a few years back. Wow. You shouldn't have to remind people to wear deodorant, should you? Who's highly rated for online mystery boxes at the moment? Depends what you want out of a mystery box. If you want a good mix, go buy a TSS one of various inverts. They do tarantula only ones, but if you want a good mix of like different bits and bobs, I'd say a TSS one. Dave's mystery boxes are always pretty good.
Kevin sometimes does them.
Even his £30 ones. Yeah. I haven't got electric blue at the moment. No, Claire. I've never replaced the one that passed.
I love my electric blues. They're gorgeous.
Well, yeah, message about that. Yeah, he'll pop back on. I feel it's common sense. You'll be around lots of people on a hot day, add some extra deodorant. Yeah, but what's common sense? Common sense is experience gained. And the experience gained is what gives you common sense.
And not to be rude, but a lot of people are missing common sense.
So if you go in the show, use the antiperspirant. Very late to the live, but all right. Oh, yeah, hey up, Lee. You okay?
Oh yeah, United Nations.
Common sense is not so common anymore. You've got that right, Vix. We'll have a sup of tea. We'll have a couple of blasts on the vape. And hopefully Uncle Dave will return. Aston says, Real's electric blue is always fun. Oh, mate, the adults. Jesus. As long as you've got a catch cup big enough to put over it while it's in a threat pose, you well away.
I don't find them bad, to be honest.
Well away.
I do agree most of the chillos are little bolty fucking fuckers, but I don't find them bad.
Let me just see. I'm 30 strong and still scared of old worlds. I think Dave's not even online on Facebook now. I think to have a certain element of fear when it comes to spiders is a healthy thing and a good thing. Not an overly, strong sense of fear, but a slight bit. I think it just helps you maintain the thoughts of more than one catch cup, and you're thinking about escape runs where they could go if they do get out, and all the rest of it on rehousing. So I think it's a bit healthy. Lee says, "Oh, good, cheers, dude. Come on, see Dave." No, Dave. He's just literally popped off. So because of the internet. Osman says, what does Osman say? Osman said, my Spy Mystery box from the live was nice. Vietnam Silver, Burpees, Species, Nendep, Oranagreo, and Filio Gilius Species Co. Canta. Nice. My son renamed my electric blue, Electric Boogaloo. Tim says, as someone who has attended every show for years, how do you politely tell someone move away from the table as your BO is making my toes curl without offending them?
Fuck off.
Yeah, literally. I like to know my pets are safe. It comes to an escape, but I've never had one with my New Worlds. I had a tiny LP escape. It took me 4 hours to catch it. Come on, Uncle Dave, where are you? What do you reckon he'll say when he comes back? Do you reckon it'll be, I had to reset the internet box? Harry says, I've got an escape. I've got an escape-proof enclosure from Tony at Venomous Visions at the Northwestern. The design is really interesting. It's not escape-proof because if you open both the lids, it gives you room for that centipede to come flying out. The double lid system is for feeding. So you can take the lid off, chuck a feeder on, put the lid back down again, open the second lid, it drops down. But generally when you feed, you want to water your centipede at the same time anyway, so you've got to open them both. It's the wire mesh, that extra thick wire mesh at the back, which makes them a bit safer. Chris, you're way too chill right now, says Dan. Chris is a pretty chill person, to be honest. He's got a gob on him, but he's pretty chill. Camera lady is pulling Dave out of the pool. Or camera lady is just pulling Dave. Do you reckon that's what he's done? He's opened the door to the shed, right, to his building, and then he's run out too quick because he's gone off to reset the internet and he's gone half over a tit into the pond. Oh my god, could you imagine? Oh, he's about again. Swimming in his moat. Did you say something about pink Crocs earlier? Not that I remember. Chris, are you going to do some mystery boxes for any of these shows?
Maybe. Maybe.
That shouldn't be a maybe. That should be like, yeah, I'll put a couple together for Bristol.
Maybe.
That should be yes. Yes, Scott, I'm going to put a couple out on Bristol table.
Maybe.
You could
That's
literally...
Maybe.
You could put Ling in one.
I could probably make 10 mystery boxes.
I think you should. That'd be pretty cool. Dave's just gone into a prolonged pre-molt. Half Ling's spiders, half Chris's printed toys. That sounds like a pretty cool idea. I'd be pretty happy with like a mystery box with a printed 3D printed toy or something else in it. Proper mystery box. Oh, yours. What species is that, Chris?
A nice big sack.
From
Yes.
every one of Chris's mystery box comes with a free drone, says Lee.
That is a very... I'd say that would be Osman's favorite spider.
Claire says, do you reckon Dave's fell asleep?
Oh, look who's there.
We're back, are we?
Hello,
We can hear you. Can't see you.
Oh, for God's sake.
I'm just trying to see where.
Hello.
I've had to change computers. I might go back to my other one. What the hell?
Go to settings there.
Come on, look at it and guess.
3 dots.
I no idea. So I think the comments were right, and I think I was right. Dave's come flying out of the spider room to go and play with the internet to make sure it's working properly. He's tripped over, landed in the pond, and camera lady is still drying him off.
Let's get on that one.
I'm trying.
Dominican purple babies says Dan. Osman says, "What is my favourite?" Question mark. What species, Chris? Good
It was in a quotes favorite. It wouldn't be your favorite.
Did you pull the emergency red cord and scramble the care workers?
That is Theraphosa apophysis.
Congratulations.
Fucking itchy motherfucker.
Now that is a sling, which is awesome because they just grow massive, like instantly. They molt and they're about 20 foot bigger. Brilliant.
That's why I said it's Osman's favorite spider. Stop pressing buttons, you fucking ginger cunt.
I was pressing add to stage and you was pressing add to stage. So it's add, remove, add, remove.
Hey, we're back on. We're back on.
Hold on.
What the hell? Ooh. What you got there?
Theraphosa apophysis.
What, you bred them?
Theraphosa.
You bred them? Nice. Good
Nice.
work.
Superb.
Nice big sack as well.
Oh, brilliant.
Obviously,
really cool.
I pulled it off slightly too early because some of them are still eggs, but there is eggs with legs already.
Yeah.
So most of them will turn over.
Oh, that's awesome. Awesome stuff.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Another one in the list. Now I need to finally crack the GBBs because I fucking can't fucking get them to fucking breathe.
Oh, I've tried that a couple of times over the years. Never managed to get them to pair up.
Right.
So
What a pain in the arse that was.
I think you just use it as an excuse to go and have dinner.
I was watching it slowly getting dragging. And then I think the power was running out, although I had it plugged in. For some reason or other, it weren't bloody thingy. But
or either that or camera lady was on the other side of the computer going, Dave.
Yeah.
Well, you've gone, yep.
Yeah. Be back in a minute. Gotta go.
Oh, my internet's died. Oh, that's a shame. See you in a minute. Dan's got a Theraphosa apophysis on the shopping list. Zoo on Wheels is Chris, Dan. He has got a website, so just keep your eyes on that website.
I've got a nice adult female up for grabs.
Sorry?
I've got a nice adult female apophysis up for grabs.
How much is that, Dave?
2, I think.
Yeah, easy.
Yeah. I saw some at the last show, they were up at 250.
Yeah, I've noticed they've gone up in price big time.
Yeah. I can't remember what I put it up for now. It's either 2 or 230.
Put another shilling in the meter, Dave.
It ain't dragging again, surely.
No.
No.
Is the aircon unit behind you, Dave? Is that heater as well?
Yes. Yeah. It's when we put it in, we managed to break a pipe, which then had to be replaced. Then I had issues with it. I couldn't get it to bloody work properly. But it seems to be working okay now. But it's not blowing as hot as it was. So I don't think it's still 100%. But I did have an engineer come out to check it out and everything, because this is one of them ones that you put in yourself and you just do it all yourself. And he reckoned he'd never even heard of the gas that was in it. So I don't really know what the crack was there.
Have you all ever kept Blaberius giganteus? Did they breed well?
The what?
I think
Blabberus.
I want to say that's a roach species.
Yeah. Don't spring to mind. My messenger is playing up as well. What is going on? I don't know if you guys get this, but on Messenger, you can I ended up like Scott, you've disappeared off my messenger. I can't find you, and I put your name in and everything, and you're still not there.
I messaged and it says you've read it. I said, has the internet crashed?
Yeah, that was literally because I went back into my computer. So on Messenger in my computer, you're there. On Messenger on my phone, you're not.
Oh, the messenger on the phone is glitching today. Ignore it.
Is that what it is? Because
Yeah,
I was talking to someone else earlier on this evening, and then I lost them as well. And I was
yeah,
like, what the bloody hell's going
ignore
on?
it. They have server problems. At
Ah.
one
The voice
point,
got knocked out of Facebook.
yeah, it logged out everyone out of Messenger today around, I don't know, midday, around 1 o'clock for a couple hours, and
The wife was logged out, right? She couldn't log back in again. I searched for her and couldn't even find her. It was like somebody had taken over her Facebook and deactivated it.
yeah, it's just Messenger problems. Ignore that. It'll be up and running properly in a couple hours.
Yeah, it was yeah, it literally probably took about a couple of hours for us to crack on, actually.
I'm too short-tempered for this sort of stuff.
Tell me about it.
Oh, it just winds me up.
Do you reckon much has changed in the hobby over the last couple of years, Dave, or since we last had a live together?
Yeah. I think maybe not for the best. Some of it. it seems like we tend to go in like fads. Like you get like a total influx of loads and loads of new people. So you end up being back at square one where everyone's asking the same questions and doing the same things. And then all of a sudden that eases off and it all becomes a bit sensible. And then you get the pure idiots that seem to have no better thing in life than to wind everybody else up.
I'm here.
Yeah. Yeah, but you're a bearable idiot. You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't know. I think the spider hobby's always ruled, isn't it, by the new things that are coming in, new spiders.
Yeah.
So I think at the moment some of the new sort of Celadonia are really kicking along now, and they're exciting people. The only thing I find a little bit frustrating is with the new spiders is the pricing. I think
the new Celadonia.
I think some of them are just like, I don't think there's any real rhyme or reason. I think someone gets the spiders and then they just turn around and go, well, that's worth 400 quid, easy. And that's the price. And it's like,
Do you know that the new Celadonia, is it Murray? Something like that.
Yeah.
Right. It's been captive bred. Okay, great. It's never been in the hobby up until now. And you can't get spiders in and out of the country. So how did the people that bred it get the spiders? And we all bang on about CITES and captive breeding and all the rest of it. And we all should be like, fighting these things and keeping certain spiders in the wild. And it's like, how did you get those?
Yeah, I think it's a really, I don't know. I'm probably going to get shot now, but I think the thing is with the new stuff, we all know,
100% with you. 100%.
It came from somewhere illegally to start with.
Yeah, definitely.
And
100%.
I think it's very, very easy for people to jump on the bandwagon and be slagging it off, and
we all put money into it.
And what?
We all put money into it.
If there wouldn't be any wild caught spiders, you wouldn't have any in your fucking collection.
Exactly.
There'd be no Celadonias. Yeah, there'd be.
This is one of the things that hits the whole of the animal community. It don't matter whether you're, whatever you're keeping, it doesn't matter, because it all originated from the same place, and it's like, it's a funny old thing, but you look at like David Attenborough, people go on about him. What a wonderful boy, one of this, wonderful that. At the end of the day, he started his career as an animal collector. And he went out and he collected from the wild and he brought them back and put them in zoos and bits and pieces like that. That is how he started his life. You look at the people that run the Born Free thing. they get millions come through in subsidies and all the rest of it. They made their fame and fortune off of the back of ill-treating animals. You know, so it's like it's just crazy. We're such a weird system that, you know, that we're caught up with it in the spider hobby.
I mean,
and it makes me laugh that if you think you look at all your big main sellers, all your big name traders, 90% of what you see on the table is wild caught.
Yep.
You can't tell. You know what? You've only the thing that frustrates me is it's like you can't tell me as a normal thinking, intelligent human being that you believe that all of these adult spiders on the tables were all captive bred since last month.
Yeah, since the last show.
Yeah.
Some of them are going to be like where they bought collections and stuff, but
it's
but
like
when you look and you go, oh, there's 50 adult females, all from Africa, all from Thailand.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, and it's also as well. You've only got to look at certain times of the years you see certain spiders. So it's not rocket science, guys. But you know what? It's almost like a major sport to actually sit and slate about it and create about it and all the rest of it. And yet the next thing they do is go straight on the internet. Oh, that fancy new spider! I've got to spare 300 quid. I'll have one of them. And they go and buy the bloody thing.
I'll answer that one, Harry. So, yeah, they did. But there's a lot more to it than did they get caught smuggling. The laws changed and they were transporting across from one country to another, from Northern Ireland to England. And the laws had changed. So they've been doing it for years, for shows and all the rest of it. But now the laws changed. Suddenly, no, you can't do it. So they got pulled. But it's only guilty once it's been through the courts, and it hasn't been to court yet. So nobody can actually make a judgment on it. I think
only thing I will say is that wasn't really a smuggling case. It was just a fucking paperwork case.
Exactly. If you get your paperwork wrong, then obviously the papers go smuggling or whatever. But it hasn't been to court yet. So in the eyes of the law, you're innocent until proven guilty. So you can't even say anybody's been done for anything until they've been convicted.
I think it's an interesting situation if you look at it in the bare bones of it.
I mean,
if you think pre-Brexit
would have been fine.
There was no issues bringing stuff from Europe into UK. There was no issues at all. You could do that, and it was nothing in it at all. So then what they do is they change a little bit of legislation, and then they make it to the point where you now need to have paperwork to show what it is and where it's come from and all the rest of the garbage. It didn't make any difference 7-8 years ago, but now all of a sudden it does. Now that in itself doesn't class as smuggling. If you order or you make you pay for a shipment to come in from, I don't know, say Asia, and you've got all these Asian spiders all coming in, and then that gets caught up at the airport, and then it gets traced back to you, and you get done for not having the right work and paperwork, that is classed as smuggling. It's a different thing, and this is the problem. With the, right or wrong, the paperwork should have been in place, and it should have been done, the way it's supposed to be done now. But it's still not smuggling.
Yeah.
It's not really. Well, I don't see it classed as smuggling.
No, I personally think it's paperwork weren't done correctly. And
yeah, well, I mean,
unfortunately, haters will jump on it and spread hate, and people just need to wait until the absolute truth comes out via the court to then make a judgment, maybe.
Well, I think this is the other thing, isn't it?
And that case is even weirder because it's UK to UK. It's not like it was coming in from abroad. It was
No,
actually
that's
coming from UK to UK.
Yep.
yeah.
So it's like
Effectively, realistically, if there wasn't a ferry crossing, if it went from Wales to England,
yeah, it's like you don't need you don't need you
same
don't
crime,
you,
same thing.
you don't need a passport to fucking cross the border. Why shouldn't you should need the fucking paperwork? So it fucking makes no fucking sense.
Tristan says, Dave, can we get another room tour or night room tour, please? Also, I know you don't like jumping spiders, I either do, but I want to try Hilius species. Apparently, they're common where you all are. Yeah, they are. I'm with Dave. I'm not a massive fan on jumpers as well.
Yeah, they're a little bit. Jumping spiders are just. Yeah, they don't hold any excitement for me, unfortunately, and they're very small. I think if we could have a jumping spider that was the size of an avic, I'd be all over.
Not
it.
even avic. If jumping spider would be size of let's say a pumpkin patch, I'd have that.
Oh yeah.
Fucking,
Imagine.
fucking, no
Yeah.
fucking.
Travis says, random question: have any of you guys bred centipedes before? No, but I do think that the centipede guys need to start looking into it so we can get more captive bred of those at shows and for sale, because mainly they are wild caught. Also, love to know, have you ever encountered any strange fans? Plenty. I'm not a fan of normality, so the stranger the people are, the more I will come and talk to you. I did have somebody contact me on Snapchat, and they, without invitation, sent me a load of pictures that the wife saw, and that caused a little bit of frustration for about a week until she actually read the actual messages that I sent back, and then she was like, "Oh, okay." And she said to me, "She said, tell them to fuck off next time and don't be so nice." I was like, "Okay."
I must admit, I've been lucky. I haven't had none of that.
But the wife used to get phone calls on the run up to shows, like the Coventry show, because we were on WhatsApp and stuff. So somebody used to phone her and say, "Oh, Scott's staying at the hotel with me, blah blah blah, all this crap," and that was for the Coventry show. And me and the wife live in Coventry, so one, I don't really stay in the hotels, and two, I'll be staying at home for Coventry show. But we used to find it. To start with, she found it a bit annoying. Now she just found it funny. But since she started coming to the shows, it stopped because obviously, what can they say?
I think it's like anything, innit? You got to have a little bit of trust in yourselves.
Yeah,
you know, and people will say things to wind you up and do all sorts of stuff.
Your beauty. I used to think wild caught was bad, but after seeing your videos explain how they all ended up in the hobby, at some point I definitely see things in different light these days. Harry, I must have misheard. The exact paperwork needed seems to change all the time. Exactly. Goalposts always moving.
Just the fucking news article what was made. It was made to make it look clickbaity and worse than it is.
Yeah, because if it just said tarantula owner caught with incorrect paperwork, nobody would read the article and then have all the ads pop up. But if you put international tarantula smuggler, everybody clicks it, and all the adverts then pop up, and the news people get paid. Avic and Pokies jump around in North, says Olaf. Claire, I hate centipedes, creepy fucker. Claire. She's a channel member as well. She should know better. Two-wheel trauma. I got my first tarantula because I spent countless hours watching Dave's videos. I'm now up to 30. I blame Dave. Awesome. Osman, I have a captive bred Scolopendria mutilins bred by Jeremy, but it had 2 centimeter peedling. It's hitting 6 inches now. There is a video that I'm working on with somebody about captive bred centipedes. More so, there's captive bred pling in that is going to be in that video, but it's more going to be more talking about the importance of trying to get captive breeding for centipedes in the UK, so we're not pulling them out of the wild every 10 minutes. Because we always go tarantulas, you know, we need more captive breeding. Scorpions, we need more captive breeding. But it's the same for everything in the invert hobby. We need captive breeding of everything. It's not just...
It's difficult though, isn't it?
Of course
It's
it is.
difficult because I approached a number of the big sellers a couple of years ago to see if any of them would be interested in doing something with the big centipedes, and I wasn't asking them for free or anything. All I wanted to do was pay trade prices on them, and do you know what? None of them were interested. None of them want to know. You know,
Well, because they sell you a male and female at a trade price, and then you breed them, so they can't then sell the adults for ridiculous amounts of money.
Yeah, it's just such a shame because it's they were something that I was really, really keen to have a go at. But the problem is you need numbers. It's no good getting a pair. You need numbers if you're going to sort of stand a chance of doing anything successfully with them. And I don't think in the UK, I don't know, but I think most stuff that's come through in the UK has been wild caught that's actually produced.
Yeah.
I don't know of anyone that's actually physically bred anything. I think most of them have been they've dropped and then they've managed to rear the young.
Dan, it's over 18s for a reason.
Yeah.
Go in the offensive chat and tag me a couple times.
Yeah, then that will scare you. Can't even talk about the offensive chat on YouTube because we'll get banned. Sure, the idea of captive breeding is to reduce imports, but they need to be imported to begin with, says Harry, and that takes time. So there'll always be wild caught. There's always a need for wild caught because we always need that fresh DNA.
Yeah, you'll never stop wild caught. You'll never stop it.
But we can reduce it. Which is what the aim is. There's a lot of breeders now. You got 2 on screen. Tim was in the comments earlier. You've got tons of breeders, so it's taken.
That's another issue that there's a ton of breeders because a lot of them are just bedroom breeders who manage to pair an easy spider and then they just keep all the good males because they think they're professionals now. I'm not even hiding it because that's the fucking case, isn't it? People think that I'm not trying. Obviously, people need to learn, but a lot of them keep some of them manage to pinch some good males, but you really need to breed, and you can't get them anymore.
Ellie says, "Hi, Uncle Dave."
Hello. Where have you been hiding? There's a blast from the past.
What's up, Ellie?
We've missed Ellie.
Oh God, yeah. On the lives, my God.
About time she done another show. We ain't seen her for ages.
Could you imagine?
Yeah, it'd be really cool. Mind you, she's all qualified and intelligent now, isn't she?
She was intelligent before, to be fair to her.
Yeah, but she's super intelligent.
She's always been a brain box.
Yeah, I'll say, but she's super intelligent now.
Yeah. Yeah, she don't keep any tarantulas anymore.
Oh.
The wild-caught spiders should end up with the right people, then it's fine. But they are sold to whoever pays most, which is a shame. Like everything in life, money talks every single time.
Don't it? Yeah.
Jim says, Dave is a legend, kept inverts since the late 80s, but he's taught me how to use a catch cup. That's awesome. Not really, Dave. She sews for a living. Olaf, is there in reintroduction of wild release programs for captive bred police the area that we know of? Not that I know of, but the whole situation of doing that is really difficult because you have to have captive bred male and female. You have to have an isolated, escape-proof, like literally, it's got to be almost like a medical centre, but that room has to be in the area where you're releasing the spiders. Everything has to be screened. I think it was even the roaches have to be kept in there. They can't run out. You have to have them continuously breeding to feed those spiders. So the actual program of doing that to reintroduce costs a lot of money. I still to this day can't understand why you can't just get 2 spiders DNA tested, put them together, and put the slings back into the wild. No idea.
One of the major issues
Not
with
Alan.
any kind of animal reintroduction is making sure that you have pure stock. It has to be pure. Otherwise, if you put diluted stock back into the original native, animals that are there,
Change the DNA.
You change everything, and it's very, very dangerous. Unfortunately, reintroduction of any animal is fraught with problems, and although it's one of them things that's bandied around the animal world constantly, and it raises huge amounts of money for different organisations and what have you, very, very little reintroduction is ever done to a successful spate. Now, there's a difference between reintroduction and on-site
Not really, Harry.
observation. So if you look at things like, most people will know in this country, things like the red kite, they were down to seriously low numbers when it was deemed, something needed to be done. And they took some of them birds, and a lot of them were captive bred and then reintroduced, but they came from the right stuff in the first place. And now we've got, a massive thriving population throughout the UK. But to do that in another country, to do that abroad is fraught with problems and paperwork. It's unbelievable. We had it in the zoo world with many things. Even things like I remember when we was doing our European bison, we needed fresh blood in our European bison, and we could have got a European bull for next to nothing, peanuts. But the problem was actually getting it here. The paperwork was horrendous. The cost of actually shipping one over was just outrageous. And unfortunately, for that particular project, it was one of them things that wouldn't gain enough public interest to finance it.
Comes back to money again, doesn't it?
Yeah. If that had been a tiger
it's
or
fucking
something
horrible,
like that, or a panda,
it's
it would have
like
got public interest.
It's all people seem to give a shit about is money.
Oh yeah, it all comes down to money, and this is why zoos and that nowadays are on their last legs. They're struggling. They really are, because there's no the getting that interest is really difficult.
Show me after this.
Oh.
Layla's last day at school today, so she took loads of pictures with the teachers and stuff. So she's trying to show me them at the same time, and I'm like, show me later.
Slap him, Layla. I allow you.
Yes! Look, Mr. Mattel!
That's her with one of her teachers.
My
Like,
favourite teacher.
why ain't that coming on?
My screen's too right.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Oh, Mr. Mattel, too cool.
That is cool.
Wrong way. Wrong. No, you don't scroll up. You scroll down. It's on Snap. No, look, we've got Auntie Pfizer. Auntie Pfizer, Miss Mohammed.
Why's she got a face on her like that?
Wait, then we've got Mr. Wilson. Wait, where's Mr. Wilson?
Yeah, I think the live stream's seen enough. Sure, Chris.
No. I'm too cool.
He looks like a Temu version of Ice-T. And this is Happy Leavers.
God, yes. No, look.
I was running for the fucking roast.
She's got to go back for one exam next week.
Monday. Look, name Mr. Wilson.
Courtney's climbing jungle says happy last day of school.
Cheers.
It's crazy because she's had they have a shirt signing day, they have a last day of school, they have a prom, and then obviously another day to do the last exam. But then it's supposed to be Leavers Day, but she's going back to the school for sixth form. So it's only it's like a Leavers Day that's like not really a Leavers Day because she's going back.
Well, not everybody's staying, so it's kind of like our last time to all be together because we've all been each other's friends for like 5 years. We've all known each other for 5 years.
But the thing that you've got now is the internet, so you're still chatting away anyway.
No, because like if we don't like chat to each other fully, like we aren't going to keep messaging each other, are we? Because we're going to make new connections.
That's pretty much how it goes, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like when me and your mum said years ago, a lot of the people at school, you just leave school and then not bother with them.
Yeah.
Like,
Get with it, Dad. Get with it, Dad. Keep
Yeah,
up.
get with it, Dad.
Keep up.
Look, I put it on my story and everything. On my days, me and Is She Too Cool? Got all of his garden and unfortunately he's got to deal with me for another 2 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
My boys is last exam Monday too, says Vix.
Ooh, I bet that's physics.
Oh,
She's got to be the only kid, right, on the planet that as the exams come up, she got excited for them.
Shut up.
If she's got an
Really?
exam that day, she can't wait to get to school, can't wait to start, can't wait. Yeah, yeah.
fair play.
Not good. Do you know when you look at a kid and you think never got to worry about you or where you're going in life? That's literally Layla.
Oh, I've got an email from her.
She's
Go on.
doing what are you doing now? Double art and
Art and double applied science.
double science in a sixth form.
Wow.
And then she's thinking what mechanics or design so she can get into F1. She wants to do something with F1 or Ferrari.
Yes.
Preferably Ferrari, I think it is, isn't it?
Yep.
Which
That'd
just
be a
sounds
place
like
to
a
get
hell of a
into,
lot of
wouldn't it?
money to be going places.
I just
Like
got an email from Silverstone as
Silverstone.
well. Yeah, cool.
A friend of mine who's got a motorcycle shop, his daughter works for Honda with GP. So she goes to all the races and does all that side of it.
That's the bit that I'm worried about because I've seen the cost of like Formula One tickets, let alone anything else.
Yeah, but it don't cost if you're working. She goes there free, so she's earning out of it. She actually gets paid to go along and do her job.
She'll end up earning more than me as a trainee.
Oh God,
Dave, you're the man. You got me into this hobby more than I wanted. Haha, says Mork. Travis says, I never had exams thanks to COVID. Courtney says, F1, nice. Oh, mate, she's mad for it. Absolutely mad.
Yes.
MD 2020. All the cool. Yeah, I remember drinking 2020. No, she won't be in the inverts, will you?
Mm.
Mind you, there's a couple that you don't mind. She finds them cute sometimes,
Millipedes.
and she likes the millipedes. So
And jumping spiders are cute.
and jumping spiders, just not on the videos, isn't it?
Mm.
So
Hard
maybe
to
I'll
compare
get
with the F1 world, though, will it?
But only if I like the camera.
maybe I'll get her some millipede colonies, and she can see if she can breed them or something.
Go on, lads. Oh, I have to post to Insta and everything. My first post to Insta is going to be all my lever stuff. Oh my gosh!
All these creators do it. Do you do YouTube? You know, you do YouTube, Scott. Yeah. Do you post everything to Instagram, TikTok, fucking this app, that app? No. Fucking, I'll have a life. I don't want a life where you're like this all day long. Do you know what I mean? Where you're just literally staring at your phone 24 hours a day, 7 days of the week.
I think this is what we were saying, wasn't it, earlier on? The it's actually quite tiring. Social media is draining. It's hard work. Keeping up with it.
Tim, if you need any of the hoses for those ACs, give me a drop me a message because Silverstone's not too far from me. Good night, Olaf. Take care.
Good
Thank you
night.
for the stream, gentlemen. I'm off for the night. I like it. We've been called gentlemen a few times tonight.
Good
Oh
night.
no, this is good.
I almost feel posh.
Yeah.
Don't say a word.
You are not posh, bro.
I agree with you. He's fucking stupid ginger wanker.
Yes. Yeah, she got fucking pigeon.
Yeah, I don't even use TikTok, says Claire. I used to. I used to go on TikTok a lot, right? And I used to put stuff on there a lot. And my issue with TikTok is I got pissed off and fed up with fucking idiots, gaining attention, keeping tarantulas incorrectly, giving bad advice, handling police the area like there's no issue, like, yeah, you know, I can do it, so can all the kids type of thing. And I just thought this app is just going to be such a negative impact on the hobby. And then all the drama over there as well between the creators is just insane. I was just like, yeah, I'm not down for that. See you later. I'm staying on YouTube. And that was me and TikTok.
Do you not find that that's all part and parcel though? So social media is a volatile space.
I'm not you, Dave. We're old school. It's like, don't do little videos saying that I annoyed you because I told you how to keep your tarantulas, and you want to do this, want to do that. Here's my postcode. Come and say hello.
Yeah.
Let's settle it over North Costa coffee.
You hurt my feelings.
Yeah, exactly. You hurt my feelings. I'm going to go and cry. No, I just told you how to keep spiders correctly. Don't you know? Oh, you're a bully. You're bullying women. No, I just told you how to keep your spider correctly. There was no mal intention there. I told you how to do it correctly on a live stream, and you didn't like it. Sorry.
I think that's one of the things you see now, like on Facebook, all the different groups and stuff. Some of it's really, really bad. I mean, I don't actually get to see a lot of it, to be fair. I quite often get people message me and they go, "Did you see this? Have you seen that?" And I'm like, no. I feel like I'm a mushroom. I'm in the dark somewhere because I don't see half of it. But yeah, some of it's pretty bad. And then it was weird actually. I every now and again I'll look on some of the reptile groups, and they're worse. They're even worse than the spiders, you know. And I don't know. It's like, do you know what? I've always said it. None of us are experts. None of us.
No,
do you know, we all learn to do things, and we do it in a certain way that gets us results. But it doesn't mean it's going to work for everybody. So everyone needs to find their own sort of path and their own thing. But it's like, why do people so judgmental? You know, and it's just like it's not necessary. It really ain't. It's such a volatile area.
I mean, I like to try and be as nice as I can. And on that TikTok live, I was so nice. I literally dropped them a message in DMs. Because I always think, you know, if somebody said something incorrect on a video, drop them a message. Don't really. I just find it rude if you just whack a comment up. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
For me to do it, if I make a mistake, please feel free to drop it in the comments. I'll highlight it for other people to read instantly. Not an issue. But for me to do it to somebody else, I would find it rude. So I always drop a PM. And fucking hell, it was like literally the end of the world for them.
Yeah, I think it's just
one of the conversations I had was, I don't feel it's correct to knock on the window of knock the glass of your tarantula's enclosure before you go to feed it. You're not telling the spider that food's coming. You're putting them into a stressed state because they're thinking a predator's coming along. No. You knock on the glass and they can learn from it, and they learn, and then that's food ready for next time. No, that's not what happens.
It's because they take the theory of tack training with reptiles.
Exactly.
That's what it is. And it's, you know, and even some of that is like, you know, I think a lot of these bits and pieces that they do, you need to understand the fundamentals of what you're trying to achieve. And unfortunately, a lot of them don't. They just see something and they get a weird concept idea of what that meant, and then go from there. But it's a really...
You're right, though. It can be somebody's perception of a situation and that what they've picked up from it, and then they think it's correct.
I mean, when I done a
God,
video on my mangrove.
Don't get me started on AI.
Yeah, I done a video on my mangrove, just on the tank setup, just a general, you know, hello, here's my mangrove, see what you think. And I had a couple of people moan at me, and they were like, "Oh, you obviously don't have a clue how to look after one of them. You don't know what you're doing." Blah 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 blah. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, Jesus, where do these people come from? You know, where do they come from? And it's like, you know, I've had these for I don't know how many years, you know, and they've always done really well. I've managed to get them through from fresh imports right the way up to, you know, good solid adults, and no issues at all. And yet you got these people on there, and they got a bleeding corn snake or something, and all of a sudden they're a damn reptile expert. And I sit there and I think to myself, you're actually slating what I've done without knowing what I've done. You know, you don't know what lights I'm using. You don't know what heat I'm using because I don't really even mention any of that. But
and
straight away,
it's simple for a complete stranger to message on a video when they've got no videos up themselves on how to do it correctly or any information that they've put out there. Tim says it's, oh my God, if I can even pronounce this, Tim, I don't know what it means. It's the anthropomorphism of inverts that winds me up no end. Could somebody explain what that word is?
Turning them into humans.
Oh, mate, pisses me right off.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
It's a very, very difficult one to actually say to someone, you're talking utter shit without upsetting them.
Yeah, tarantulas don't see and feel the world like we do. They don't have emotions like we do. Oh, yeah, but mine might wave at me on a Friday night because he knows I'm having a takeaway. No, it fucking don't.
I've given up the amount of times that people say to me that when they go to open the enclosure, it comes running out to greet them.
Yeah, bullshit.
I'm like, well, I've been keeping them for 40 odd years or more, and I've never had one run out to greet me yet. You know, so maybe I'm doing something wrong.
She loves to play.
She loves to play. Yeah.
And it's one of the reasons I never got into jumping spiders because of the little houses they build for them and the fake grass. No. No. Anyway, before I get a whole community of keepers gunning for me.
Yeah, done.
Yeah, a two-wheel trauma. How are you getting on with the mangroves, Dave? Would love to see another video on them if you get a chance. Stunning snakes.
Yeah, they're doing really well. They're feeding well. The males
my tarantulas love me, don't lie.
Hey?
Dan, my tarantulas love me, don't lie. No, Claire. Giving human feelings to an animal just makes things easier to attack.
Yeah.
It's I think it's because, or maybe it's not, I don't know, but you know, you stroke a horse and horse can then recognize you. Dogs, obviously, cats, similar. And I think we absolutely will that for our spiders to the point where some of us believe it happens when it's not. It's definitely not.
I think what you got to remember is that you will get a scientific paper get written about something, and it might say that, you know, spiders possess thinking power or problem solving power. You know, they've got these things. What you got to remember is that is just, although it might be a scientific paper, at the end of the day, that is someone's opinion. It's someone's interpretation of what they've seen. And unfortunately, we see it all the time with a lot of scientific papers. It's like
changing next week.
It's the actual, well, the daft thing, a lot of it, the information they put is really quite poor. And it's literally their interpretation of what they think has happened or what they believe it is. And all right, they might have seen it half a dozen times, but it's still an interpretation. You know, it doesn't make it gospel. I mean, I did see a thing where they were saying that spiders have the ability to, to be able to solve problems. And I'm like,
yeah, of course they do.
Really?
Of course they do.
Yeah.
So the problem is the spider's hungry. All bit of live food gets put in front of them, so they solve that by jumping on the live food and eating it. Explained.
Yeah.
Spiders possess thinking power. Well, yeah, because they must have felt the live food and thought, yep, right, I need to attack it from this direction. Yep. But they don't have the thinking power of us, and that's what I think a lot of people struggle with, looking at spiders and thinking, oh, they must sense and see the world and feel my feelings, and project my feelings then onto the spider. No. I can understand it to a degree, as well as because we do love our animals, and I think it does stem from a deep love for them. But anyway, Tim Scorpions are doing his lads' homework tonight. Sean says, "Hey Dave, I'm really enjoying the closer look series you have been doing. Please keep it going." Dan says, "I'm convinced my GBB has more up there than my other tarantulas, though, to be fair. Seems to know when feeding time and times of the day more than most pattern recognition, but does seem smarter than most. Could recognise air pressures or maybe light changing, but GBBs tend to be out more as well, don't they?"
Yeah, maybe it's just a bit more of an active spider.
I'd love to know what's an animal that you'd love to one day try breeding. The wife. It's been a while,
I guess she's still not in the room.
No. She don't mind. She finds it funny. She never takes offence because she lives with me. So what I say on lives about her, I will say to her face, and trust me, she's got more to come back at me with. I would like, as been said in the chat, and Dave, I wouldn't mind having a go at one of the centipedes.
But you know what? It's an interesting one that I want to do. Maybe next year, or it might be the year after. I really want to have a crack at the African bullfrog.
Oh, that'd be good.
Yeah, I want to do that. I think that'd be a nice. There's something that has always been sort of nibbling away at me for a long time, and I'd like to have a crack at them. I've done many of the other amphibians, but I've never done one of them.
Mind you, you could literally do that in the pond.
Yeah, in the summertime. Yeah, you could. Yeah.
Fence the pond off because then they'll have more than enough water to go. Hey up.
Well, they don't. If anything, it's too much. They only really want shallow water. They only need like probably 6 inches of water is more than enough. Yeah, they don't need a lot.
Dan says if tarantulas have the brain power we want them to, we should all be worried.
Yeah, I would be.
Kate, I feel like they definitely have different characteristics, temperaments, but they definitely aren't the same as other animals and certainly not humans. 100%, Kate, 100%. Even from spider to spider in the same species can have different characteristics. Different spider characteristics is probably the better way I can say that.
Well, it's weird actually. I think I mentioned it on. I just done a video on the Ruffalata, and we ended up talking about different pokies and how they behave. And I've got something like about 12 adult female Metallicas.
Definitely have.
And all of them, bar one, are out all day long. But I've got one there that always hides away. She's very, very shy. So, they are individuals. But it just means that, for whatever reason, that one's a little bit shyer, a little bit less secure. Could be any number of reasons, but it's definitely within that spider's makeup,
Yeah, Beauty says, can't believe someone challenged Dave about his animal care. The amount of knowledge I've gained from his videos and the way I interact with tarantulas has improved tenfold with his videos. But why not? I think Dave would be very appreciative if there was something that's changed in the last 12 months that Dave don't know about. And if you approached it correctly and not just jump down his throat, actual constructive criticism is a lot different to criticism.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
Like the comment about the mangroves, if that had literally said, Dave, I've been doing it this way and I had better, or seem to have better success than what you've had. What do you think to this, and this? Then you're having a debate, you're having a discussion about it. You're both going to learn and grow.
Very much so, yeah.
I think you guys as keepers should be challenging us on YouTube and saying, actually, I'll keep mine this way and it's doing completely fine.
Yeah, definitely. This is one of the
don't
things
see an issue with
it. This is one of the things that we've pushed on the channel from day one. It's literally all I do with my stuff is I just show what works for me. you know, and hopefully that will help work for someone else. But I mean, I'm in contact with different people all over the world that are telling me different things about how they're keeping stuff, and you know, and it makes me think about how I do my stuff. And it's the only way to learn. You know, none of us, like we said earlier on, none of us are experts. You know, there's so much to learn.
Natives with Biripes, the egg sacs are kept in glass bottles, and that's how they're going to hatch out. Plastic bowls. Sorry. And that information come from Rad because he's seen it. There's a male bullfrog in my local pet shop. He's been sat there for months, says Tim.
Is he definitely a male? That's the thing.
Travis is trying to put a breeding group of bullfrogs together. Does Dave had a video on slower moving, easily kept old worlds?
Yeah, I think we did do a video on like sort of like beginner old worlds, if you like.
Balfour.
So sort of intermediate stuff. Yeah, because I think things like the Balfour, golden blue legs, all that sort of stuff, they're what I would class as a good introduction spider into old world spiders. But then, you know, I've said before, I don't like to categorize them too much. I think what you should do is look at your own ability, and match that to what you're intending to look at. So if you're a bit on the jumpy side, don't go getting something that moves like grease lightning. You know, no. It's just not worth it. So you need to sort of like work it out and do it. I think
like if you are a little bit nervous and you're thinking about getting into old worlds, if you haven't got Sarmapayas, get a couple of Sarmapayas as adults first, and a couple of slings.
No,
because they do increase in speed. They are quite fast.
I personally think Sarmapayas is worse than fucking Balfours or Harpactera. They're fast.
But if they tag you, it's not going to be nowhere near as painful, is it?
They have strong venom.
Yeah, but not like
the only new world with a strong venom, medically significant.
Do you know?
Medically significant is DWA.
Well,
do you know what? We used to see this a lot in like with the snakes and stuff, especially people that were looking at getting venomous. Especially people that were looking at getting venomous stuff, they would be like, "What would be good training snakes?" So people used to say to them, like, you know, get something like a racer or something like that that's, you know, fast moving, and it's going to get, you know, it's going to give you an idea. Some of your big hog noses, false water cobras, all this sort of stuff. And to be honest with you, not a single one of them is going to give you any kind of introduction or training for a venomous snake. You know,
the venomous snakes what I've seen are fast.
If you've never dealt with a large pissed off rattlesnake, there's nothing out there that is going to, you know, train you to that. The only way you're going to do it is you need to work towards that and get it. But you can't learn to handle non-venomous snakes to get ready for venomous snakes, if that makes sense. It just doesn't happen. And if you're looking at things like the true arboreals, so things like mambas and stuff like that, if you are not good with a hook, you are going to have a whole hell of a bad time. These things move fast, faster than anything that you would believe possible, you know. And to boot, you know, the damn thing can kill you as well. So straight away, you've now got fear of dying, which when you were mucking around with your blue tie beauty as a training snake, you weren't ever thinking that you're going to die if it bites you. So straight away, you're behaving differently. You know, it's such a.
I've had a tie blue.
Yeah.
Right. And then I've seen friends. I've had venomous keepers on and things like that on lives, and that is nothing like a venomous. It is the speed on it is like saying, oh well, Scott's a trainer. You know, I'm a trainee species for venomous, and watch me do a 100-meter sprint in the Olympics. The winners being venomous. Do you know what I mean? Me coming in half an hour after them. That's the kind of difference. It's it's nothing.
And this is why I sort of see it with the spiders. I treat them all exactly the same. It don't matter whether, you know, they're literally right there at from a curly hair right the way through to a funnel web. I don't care. I treat them all exactly the same.
I mean, you look at the blue racer, and then you look at an inland taipan. By the time the blue racers come up to eat the food, the inland taipan has bit it 10 times.
Mm. Yeah, I tell you, you know, it's venomous is an entirely different ball game. It's
right, beautiful people. I am gonna leave you. Love you and leave you. It's fucking one of those days.
Just before Chris disappears, because he don't get a lot of recognition, not as much as he deserves. ZooOnWheels.co.uk is Chris, and Zoo ZOW at the shows. Chris and Ling Zoo on Wheels. Tables at all the shows. Pop over, go annoy him. Say Scott sent me to come annoy you. I'll be very grateful if you went up and told him that. Tell him
people usually come over and say you're a fucking wanker. They're fucking glad.
If you can go up to him and tell him all his 3D printed stuff shit and all his spiders are shit, that'd be absolutely fantastic.
And he's far too loud at shows.
Over, give him some support.
I'm not too loud.
He's far too loud at shows. I've had people complain. It's no good.
From the other side of the halls as well.
Yeah.
I'm not.
You know what? We're going to
only Nick complains because when he turns his radio on, I start yelling the whole fucking venue. Shut the fuck up.
We're all behind you there. That's the thing.
No worries. Good night, everyone, and you have a good weekend. And I'll see you Tuesday.
Yeah, man. Tuesday.
Take it easy, buddy.
Cheers.
Bye,
see you later, Chris.
Take care, mate.
Take care.
Kate just asked a question. I'm probably going to get 2 different answers, I would have thought. But says, I've heard some keepers saying that getting slings are an option for more intermediate species, as you can grow as a keeper with the sling. Do you agree with that, guys? I don't.
Nah, not really.
No, because if you get it as a sling, by the time it's giving you any hassle, it's about 2 years later. If you get it as a grown-on sling, you kind of getting there-ish. But to be honest, it's like Dave was trying to say with the snakes. I feel with the old worlds, just grab the bull by its bollocks and just get one. What you've got to remember is, one, you don't want to be going back into that setup to rearrange anything. So make sure your setup's bang on the first time. And the issues you're going to have is always on that rehousing period. So if you're going to rehouse, the packaging that it comes in, when you get the spider, whether it be from the show or if you get it through the post, loosely undo that lid so it's still on, and put the actual pot with the spider inside the bigger enclosure, and see if you can then remove the lid with a pair of tongs and just leave it be. You haven't got to poke it around with a paintbrush or anything to try and get it out or anything. Let it come out in its own time, and when it's out and it's settled, go in with a pair of tongs and remove the transportation enclosure out of the new enclosure. And you're limiting what happens. Basically, you're limiting any negatives, I think.
I think the big thing to remember for new people and that is to, learn to walk before you run, and try and resist buying everything, because it's especially when you go to a show. I was just the same in the early days. When I went to the first shows, I was like gobsmacked with things I'd never seen before, and and I had to buy everything. I wanted it all. But it's like, the problem is you can't. You need to. I think if people slowed down, and rather than looking at getting that next thing which they think is a step up, they need to step back and think to themselves, am I doing this to the point where I'm efficient and I'm ready to take that next step? I think most people try and keep jumping up. It's almost like a badge of honor. if you can get that next thing. It's like having a something like a lividus or something, you know, or an OBT. How many people do we see put posts up on Facebook? Oh, I've got an OBT. So what? You know, it doesn't make you an extra superhuman person. You know, it's just a bloody OBT. So the daft thing is half the people that rave about having an OBT are terrified when it comes to rehousing it. So they obviously weren't ready for it in the first place. So do you know what I mean? I think.
Oh, definitely.
I think if people just slowed down and was a little bit more honest with their ability, this is one of the things we've tried to show on the channel. We've took all manner of spiders.
That's so true, Ozma. When a spider threat poses, it stays where it is.
Yeah, but I mean, we've tried to show this, that we've taken some of the so-called spiciest of spiders and got them out and manipulated them and walked them around and done all these things without even getting a threat pose. You know, so the whole point is that if you can get your ability to a point where you can deal with things without that thing getting upset and throwing up a tantrum, then you are somewhere nearer to being more efficient at what you're doing. And this is the difference. So it's like if you aim to try and do that, then there'll be less and less that will catch you out. And I think that's one of the key things. I think too many people get things that they're ill-equipped to deal with, and then they end up in trouble with it. And then it ends up frightening them, and before you know it, they're going backwards rather than forwards.
How's it go? Stay calm.
Yeah, be calm, be gentle, and love your spider.
But never a true word spoken in this hobby.
But you know, it's like, you know, we got the Ruffalata out on last Thursday's video, and she literally just settled down, went into that pokey stance on a bit of wood, and I'm sitting there and waving my hands above her and everything, nothing, not even moving, you know. And it's, you know, you just gotta, it's how you deal with it.
2-wheel trauma rehoused my female cobalt blue the other day. It was my most challenging rehouse to date due to her speed, but we got there in the end. Just as Dave said, I've been trying not to rush with things.
That's it. Take your time.
There is no rush.
No.
I think sometimes you can feel, especially if you've got friends in the hobby that have got all these old worlds and stuff, you can feel a little bit pressure to keep up or catch up with other people. I think my thoughts on that is fuck that shit. Just do what you can.
Yeah. Yeah. You just got to move at your own pace and enjoy what you're doing. I think a lot of people end up. This is why you quite often see on Facebook, someone starts in the hobby, within a matter of a month or two, they've got 20, 30 spiders. Within another month, they got 100 spiders.
Then they're for
and then
sale.
all of a sudden now they're completely overwhelmed. They do a couple of rehouses where the damn thing runs around the living room and terrifies the household, and then next thing you know, collection up for sale, you know. And you're like, if you just slowed down and took your time, chances are you'd still be doing this in 5 years' time, because you wouldn't have, you know, frightened yourself into into what's going on next. You just got to take your time, enjoy it.
I see it a lot, because people then realise that instead of heating up one enclosure, they've got to heat up a room, the electric bill, and then they're not breeding roaches, they're buying. It's a live food bill. And then there's the time it takes. And I mean, I've done I think 2 videos on like things to think about before getting a larger collection, and it was basically just a lot of things that I thought when I first started, I should have maybe slowed down and had a little think about it first. But I was quite lucky in the fact that, you know, my partner, she's literally will let me just give me all the time in the world that I want. So I can go off on the spiders for hours and hours, and she don't really batter an eyelid. I know a lot of relationships, a lot of time away from them when you're at home, especially if you're working long hours and you're not seeing them all day and stuff, that can put a bit of pressure on. So larger enclosures, larger collections, can be a financial burden, but they can also be very time consuming and put a lot of pressure on family as well, especially if you're like 4 hours off and you're feeding.
Mm.
You know, you might think, yeah, 4 hours, love it. What you don't think about is, well, your wife might be lying in bed for 3 of those 4 hours, thinking, well, where is he or where are they? You know,
Yeah. Everything has to run. You know, with the thing. I think this is one of the things that. I mean, I've been lucky. You know, me and Kelly have been together 25 plus years, and you know, it weren't always easy. You know, it's like any relationship, isn't it? You know,
of
we had our times where we basically just wanted to kill each other. But as time's gone on, we've got better and easier. But the thing is, it's like I get away with a lot. I do a lot of my own things, like all the spiders and everything else. It is more my thing than hers. But I always make sure I have time to do what she wants to do. You know, and anything else. You know, things that don't involve spiders or snakes or whatever. So,
Yep.
you know, you've got to be able to have time for everything. And if you can't do that, then you know something has to give. You know, and if you're in a relationship, then you should be finding time to make that work. You know, you can't do it all.
we've got 3 kids. We've got dad's in care home, mum's by herself at home. 2 of the boys autistic ADHD. I'm ADHD down the box as well. So the wife's literally got to deal with all us lot. But I don't give 2 fucks what's happening. I will make time for her. Whether that's just on a Saturday morning going out somewhere, even if it's just literally just window shopping or getting some crap, you've got to do something. When I first got with her, I said, look, I'm not your average person. I do like my own time. I need my own space. Otherwise, the relationship isn't going to work. When I've had long-term relationships in the past, that's why it's broke down, because, you know, my exes have got very clingy and I can't deal with that shit. And I think she went away and just literally before Noah came along, and before Leo was diagnosed, I think she did a bit of research on ADHD and when you mix it with a bit of autism, what that entails. And she just knows when to leave me alone. It just works. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's some days where I'll go, oh, I've got to do some things down the spider shed, and she'll be like, oh, but you know, we'll want it to do this, and I'm like, okay, well, we'll do that. I'll do that tomorrow then. You know, things that can wait. And there's other times when she knows, yeah, just give him his time. He needs his little headspace, and off I go, and that's that. Dan, she is awesome. If you go into the Bristol show, she'll probably be sitting with camera lady on Dave's stand. She's
Yeah,
grumpy
we'll see her there.
No doubt.
I think
It's
my
a tiny
bloody
string bowls for
internet's
me. I'm
freezing
sure
again.
Oh. Did camera lady always enjoy tarantulas, or has that been a work in progress? Asking for my partner.
Yeah, she's well, she does more of them now than she did before. That's for sure. Yeah, I think it's case of having to, really, in some respects, because we end up doing a lot because we done the shows before YouTube and all of that. It was very much I used to just do it, but then now with YouTube, she helps out with like the filming and bits and pieces like that, and then obviously the shows. She helps out with the shows and stuff like that. I still do all of the general care and stuff. Although saying that, she does a lot of the feeding now, so and has done for some time. Especially the young stuff, slings and things like that. She deals with all of that. And actually, of late, she's actually started revamping some of my enclosures. So if I have, you know, some plants die off or the moss die off or whatever, she'll get in and redo them all. And it helps me out no end because like my work is busy. So quite often or not, I don't always have time to be able to do everything. So she'll come in and she'll do different bits and pieces, and that just helps me because it allows me to do some of the, especially like breeding. I've done no breeding this year really.
I'm not breeding this year. I ain't got time.
No, I just haven't had time. and I've managed to cohabit a few bits and pieces, but you know, the
Yeah.
success of
I have
doing that
Cambridge
is,
eye, but
yeah, it's not very good doing it like that. I don't like it, but yeah, but her doing a majority like the feeding and watering and bits and pieces like that does allow more time for me to do other stuff. So yeah,
Dan
it's a big help. I couldn't do it all on my own.
might be able to help you out there, Dan. Dan was hoping for some for more hope there. Camera lady is fantastic. My partner's still coming around. We just come back to that in a second. My wife always said absolutely no tarantulas, says Kay, and now she loves them more than the reptiles. The Balfouri clean out she did was fun to see, says Vix. And Dan says, thank you, I need that. Dan, so my wife she got into making enclosures years ago. But apart from that, she never really got into any of the spiders at all. But she does like isopods. So if you can find an invert which your partner likes, to give them an interest as well. Bearing in mind there were certain isopods a couple of years ago I could not get going. She looked after them and she had babies and all sorts. And recently she's got back into them. That is always a winner. Always a winner. Because then you've both got your own hobby within the same hobby. So you're still connected, even though it's different animals, but it's still within the same hobby. So if you can find maybe an invert, it could be millipedes, could be isopods. Both of those are pretty good for people that aren't already in the hobby. Do you know what I mean? To kind of persuade them to come into it a little bit. But yeah, that's what my wife does is isopods, and she absolutely loves them. So, but when we first got together, it was literally I had an LP and a Calcodes, and she said no more. And we went down to KBN and I bought an OBT, and then it absolutely exploded. But yeah. Hey up, Charlie G. Christ, I missed this one. He says, I would have come earlier, I'd have known. Get your notifications on, Charlie. I blasted it everywhere. I thought a jumping spider might be hers, but isopods are a really good suggestion. Cheers, that's all right, Dan. The isopods, they don't need as much care because once you set them up, you're pretty good to go as long as your humidity is correct. They'll eat the substrate and other bits and bobs. If you pop over to postpods.co.uk, I'm pretty sure it's you guys is the discount code over there. But most of my isopods either come from postpods and micro exotics. I'll find those two people absolutely awesome. We've had some off only pods as well. Ju, she's pretty cool. Some of the isopods are so cute though. It says Vix. Oh mate, I'm not allowed near them. Some of them are absolutely gorgeous. I'm not even allowed to film them. I wanted to film what she got, and she was like, "No, you leave them alone. Otherwise, I'm going to get myself in big trouble." So, although the isopods are here, it's completely up to her. And when she lets me actually film them, which will probably be on reals maybe. Travis, I'm lucky. My family is pretty cool with my animals. Even come to invert shows and the BTS with me. Bonus. Courtney said, yeah, you guys is the code over at Postpods. Dan, this has been a super helpful stream for me. Thank you both. More than welcome, dude.
Hey. Hello, Charlie boy. Need to come and see his room.
Charlie's not far from you, is he, really?
No, I don't believe so. No,
How far is
Kempton way, isn't he? Yeah, it's only like an hour up the road, really. Yeah, hour and a bit, maybe.
What? If it takes you an hour to get to Kempton, it'll take you an hour to get to Charlie's.
Yeah, he's literally round the corner from the venue, isn't he?
How often do you do these live? This is the first one I've ever seen, says Shauna. Normally every Tuesday. It's just when Dave comes on, we normally do it on a Friday because it goes on past 10 o'clock. So we don't like to do it on a school night. I think the issue is me and Dave are getting a bit older, so we like our sleep.
Yeah.
Charlie, he says
having busy lives.
You can come to his room anytime you want, Dave. He says, nah, about an hour. So we've got no excuses. We're just being lazy at this point, really.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. We need to find the time.
Courtney, he says, I love my isopods, mainly what he keeps.
Yeah. That's good. I'm talking of time. I'm going to have to jump soon.
3 years on, got mantis, millipedes, and scorpions. Oh, yeah.
Nice. I
It's
do
funny,
like
isn't
the mantis.
because you call yourself like Dave's Little Beasties. I'm Scott's Inverts. But it's always like, oh, so you just keep tarantulas then? No. No.
I think Kelly sometimes wishes that was all I did keep.
I don't know. Yeah, the wife, I think she enjoys some of it. It's been a big help having camera lady about at shows and stuff. I think it's encouraged the enemy to come to a few more shows.
I think they do each other a bit of good, to be fair.
Yeah, I do.
Because Kel, she ain't keen on crowds and stuff like that. And sometimes it can get a little bit swamped at the table.
Yeah.
And, it can get a little bit chaotic.
All I can gather is I think the majority of the time they go, Scott's a dickhead. Dave's a dickhead. Dave's done this. Scott's done this. Dave says that too. So does Scott. They're a pair of arseholes. I think that's what they mainly do. Cases, Scott, have you ever had reptiles or other animals? I used to keep a hell of a lot of fish. I had 15 fish tanks running. I used to keep a spare tank for breeding. I had a 5-foot tank with pairs of fish in. I've had snakes in the past, a couple of different types of lizards. I had a marine fish tank. I've got axolotls, frogs, and shrimp at the moment. But I haven't really got enough room for reptiles as well, for stuff I want to do with insects. Vic says, my kid's dad hates my spiders. Their enclosures are kept in Viv's, mainly for his comfort, but also because heat in the house would do me in. A t-shirt in a winter girl. Oh, mate, same. I live in my t-shirt. I don't care how cold it is. 9 times out of 10 in the middle of winter, the wife just looks at me gone out because I'm still nice and warm and half in the duvet, half out with the fan on. Yeah. Osman, I might need to squeeze a scorpion into my logo. Do like him a lot. Yeah. Kay says, also, do either of you have normal animals like cats, dogs, rabbits? I've had a dog.
I used to do a lot with working dogs.
My dog passed away. We've been here 2 years, 4 years ago. And when I first got that dog, it had been abused. And she ran away from me a lot. And it took me a long time to get her to work with me. But I was still on drugs at the time as well. So when I got off drugs, I always remember, because I didn't go to doctors or rehabilitation centre. I had a phone call with my mum, and that was enough for me to go, I need to stop doing this shit. So I stopped all the Class A's and all the prescription drugs on the same day. The following day, I was just shaking, sweating. It was fucking horrible. My dog literally lay at the base of the settee in front of me and did not move for 2 weeks. Literally was with me for the whole period. Absolutely amazing dog. Literally, I think she knew. I think she knew what I was doing. I think she knew more than what, I know you're not supposed to put thoughts and things onto other animals, as we were saying, but that dog definitely picked up on stuff.
Yeah, I think a lot of animals pick up on your things. I think what happens is there are certain animals that do actually, react to different stuff like that. Spiders are not one of them.
No.
So it's like I can remember when I was working with elephants, if I went in a really, really happy mood in the morning to sort them out, I guarantee my elephant would muck about. She'd be fidgety and pushy and just be generally just like a naughty child. You know what I mean? But if I went in with a hangover, she would stand stock still. She would be like, "Yeah, don't mess with him today. He's in a bad mood. You know, behave yourself. Everything will be fine." And it was literally like that all the time. Same as if I was upset. You know, I remember when I was working with them, I lost a good friend, and I was cut up for quite some time. And every morning I went in there, she would come up and she'd literally just push her head on me. And they basically vibrate their foreheads, and they rumble and they make subsonic sounds that we can't really hear, but you can feel them through this stuff. And that's what they do to each other to reassure each other. And she would come up and push her forehead onto my head, and she'd do this. And it's almost like you're sort of checking to see if you're all right. You know what I mean? It's an amazing feeling. Really is something special. But it's they're of a much higher intelligence level.
Yeah.
When you compare them to something like a spider, it's a totally different world. And the same with dogs. You know, dogs work out. They know when you're in a good mood, a bad mood, or whatever. They know instantly. They know how it's all going. So they're very, very switched on to our emotions, you know, and they can interpret them emotions the same as we interpret theirs. So, you know, this is one of the things. If you look at it, pretty much everything in the animal world has a way of communicating with you, either through noise or through visual. So, you know, like a big cat will snarl at you, you know full well it's not in a good place at the moment. The chances are it's going to bite you or attack you or whatever. If it comes up and it's just purring, it's giving you an entirely different set of emotions. So, you know, you see a different side. The only things that are different like that is things like bears. Bears have no facial expression. So they can't actually, most things have a facial expression, but bears don't. So you never know with a bear what it's actually thinking of doing until it happens. And that's what makes them quite difficult to work with.
Remember that bloke who used to live with the wild bears?
Yeah, yeah.
That ended badly, didn't it?
They all do.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you know, there's a lot of people, many of them animal trainers, that get away with things for many, many years, you know. You see a lot of these big cat trainers and what have you, you know, get away with stuff for a long, long time, and then one day it just goes bad. And the problem is you're dealing with something that you have got absolutely no control over. When we used to work with the elephants, I noticed now it's changed now in the zoo world. We used to go in hands-on every day. So we'd be in there with them, working them, you know, going through the routines, doing all the health checks, everything. In the wintertime, when we couldn't let them outside because it was icy, because the last thing you want them to do is run around on an icy paddock.
Oh,
they
Jesus,
slip,
yeah.
break a leg, that's the animal dead. You know, it can't be fixed. So it ended up being put down. So in the wintertime, we would keep them in. But what we would then do was we would then sit in the stables with them. Even if it meant being in there all day, we'd be in there all day with them, talking to them, you know, just being there. And that was enough to keep the boredom away and what have you. And they appreciate that company. You know, we were lucky when we had ours. I mean, we had times there we could sleep in the stables with them, all sorts of stuff, you know. Nowadays, it's all changed. There is no contact now. Very, very little. And it's all because of health and safety. So, you know, when I was young and I started my career with elephants, it was an entirely different thing. You know, we couldn't get life insurance. I couldn't get anyone to insure me. So
sounds reasonable.
Yeah, well, if you look into the animal world and to captive animals, elephants are classed as the worst. You know, so you think it'd be big cats and stuff like that, but they're not.
I suppose an elephant could move and crush you and not even know.
Oh, they know all right. They know everything. You know, the quickest way to make an elephant jump is to literally just get a pin, just stick a pin in it, and it will jump as high as you would if I stuck a pin in you. It's literally their skin is super sensitive, but it's also incredibly tough. You know, and you can literally, and this is one of the things. So you can manipulate an elephant through pressure points on its body. And when I say pressure points, you don't need any pressure to actually make that point work. It can be the slightest amount of pressure. The only difference being the more stubborn the elephant is, the more pressure you need to be able to manipulate it.
Yeah.
But it all comes down to training and everything else. And the better trained your elephant is, the easier it is to work with and to look after it, because you can do it. Now, before, when I was there, we used to do regular foot care because their feet get very soft. And when they get soft feet, they end up with problems with their feet. So they end up with like rotting in the sole of the foot. So we used to pick them up every day, and we used to paint them with chloride, which
To
is
stop
just
that happening.
uh,
To stop that happening.
yeah, because what it does is it hardens the skin up. Yeah, so it makes it hard. And we do regular nail work, so we keep their nails trim and everything else. You know, now because they're not allowed to do that footwork, they're not allowed to have that contact. Their feet are shot. And most of the zoos that I've been to recently, the animals' feet are in terrible state, purely because health and safety won't allow them to get in there and do that. So all of that we learned back then and the stuff that we done back then is all lost today. I speak to elephant keepers today, and they're like, "We throw everything through the bars. We've never been in there." And I'm like, "You're joking? That's crazy." You know, but it's the way things have changed. You know, health and safety's changed. I mean, I used to take young kids into things like our squirrel monkey island. So we had like 30 odd squirrel monkeys, and they had an island with a dirty great big oak tree in it, and they were free. They ran everywhere, and we had a moat around it to stop them getting out. And quite often I'd turn up there to feed and clean them out, and there'd be a mum and a couple of kids sat on the bench, and you know, we're talking kids of like 3-4 years old, and they'd be like, "Oh, you know, do you want to come over and see the monkeys? Come and feed the monkeys." And I used to pick them up and take them over onto the island, and then bring the bridge back, because obviously you can't leave the bridge open because they'd run over the bloody bridge. And yeah, we'd have them out there and we'd feed them on the logs, and there'd be monkeys jumping on them and moving about, and you know, it used to be wonderful, wonderful times. But you'd never do that nowadays. Yeah, health and safety is just destroyed so
Every
much.
part of your life, health and safety, every part of work.
Yeah.
Your beauty says, "I've got more time for dogs than most humans these days. Mine have helped me through a lot too. I've got a lot of time for animals and a lot of time for animal keepers and people that are interested in animals. As for normal people, my patience is extremely short and I haven't got time for it, honestly. And you know somebody's an animal lover. But the majority of people out there, I just don't give a shit about. But when it comes to animal keepers in the hobby and all the rest of it, I've got all the time in the world. But normal people, not much at all." Vic says, "My wolf dog is obsessed with watching my spiders. My ragdolls share a brain cell, though, so they don't give a shit. They just like the heat on the Viv tops." Harry says, "David, it would be so interesting to hear more about your experience in the video. The more you talk, the more I want to learn." I think he's on about the zoo.
Different times.
How come you left the zoo world, Dave? Says Kay.
Just a typical one, really. Family, money, wanting to buy a house. You know, the crazy thing was back then, you know, I ended up with an opportunity where I could earn a lot more money, and I needed to earn more money to pay for my mortgage and what have you. And I had a young family and what have you. So that was basically it. It needed more money. I did also get a little bit disheartened with the
Hey, Smiley.
zoo world. You know, the zoo world's a funny world. It's I find an awful lot of it is geared around making money, as we said before. You know, so it's a very, very difficult thing, and conservation is really hard as well. It's not as easy as people imagine. So there's many reasons, but mainly finances. I needed to earn more, so I took the decision to go into other work. Something I regretted, because like now, if I'd stayed in the zoo world, I would have been earning the same now as what I am now, if that makes sense. Whereas back then, it was quite poorly paid. But I know not all zoos are the same, but I know back in when I was doing it, Whipsnade and London was the best paid zoos in the UK. And I believe they're still up there, compared to other zoos in their waging strategies.
Well, Phil, incredible inverts with animals, is a zookeeper, and he said the problem is now people want to get into zookeeping, but there just isn't any positions, and when a position comes up, thousands of people are applying for it.
It was always like that. Even back in my time, it was, there's always been a huge amount of people that want to do it. And you find, many of them, it's not what they first thought it was, so they'll come in and go pretty quickly. But yeah, it's one of them things we used to call dead man's shoes. You wouldn't get a promotion unless someone died.
Yeah.
Then the person above you would then move up, which left a space for you to move up, and so on and so on. So yeah, we used to call it dead man's shoes. But yeah, I mean, it's if I'd still been in there now, who knows? I could be doing anything. But it's changed a lot over the years as well. It's funny because when I was in there, I used to talk to senior keepers when I was just a junior keeper. So I would have been in my late teens, sort of 19, 20, and talking to the old boys that were in their sort of 60s, telling me about days gone by when, back in the 40s and stuff, when they were doing stuff. And I used to be amazed by it. I'd sit there hanging off their every word. The stuff they got up to, stories they'd tell you, tales that they got, done. And it was just amazing. And I always felt like I was born in the wrong time. I always felt jealous that I would never get to experience the experiences that they had, because things had changed. It was a different world. My world was a different world to their world. And unfortunately, now that has gone full circle. So when I speak to keepers of today,
they wish they'd experienced what you've gone through.
Yeah, but I feel so sad for them, because I don't see them as keepers anymore. They're not keepers. There's so much red tape and things to stop them doing what they're there to do. It's so hard. And also as well, the zoos and that, they don't have the collections that they had back in my day, or and the keepers that I used to aspire to, they had stuff that they looked after that is now extinct in my day, and I would never ever get. I mean, people that crikey, I think like Whipsnade Zoo had a full-on entourage of giant tortoises and stuff. And I can remember one of my senior keepers telling me the day that they took charge of the giant tortoises and what a big parade it was when they all came, and all that sort of stuff. And they used to walk, like when Whipsnade first started, the nearest train station was down in Dunstable, which was probably 8-9 miles, something like that, from the zoo. Well, they walked every animal to the zoo. So they walked camels, elephants, all this sort of stuff. They walked it all the way to the zoo. I mean, can you imagine that? Could you imagine being a part of that?
Imagine seeing that now.
Oh, it would have been phenomenal. I mean, it was just amazing. I think you look at London Zoo. The stuff that London Zoo's done over the years. Go back to sort of Victorian times. The collections, and I can remember going to London Zoo as a kid and going in the hummingbird house, and it was free flying hummingbirds all around you in their tropical house, and it was just outrageously fantastic. They used to have birds of paradise and stuff like that, stuff you will never see nowadays, never see, and I remember when I went back, I was there. I would have been probably 6 or 7, maybe. Younger than that, actually, probably. Oh, there's photographs of me at London Zoo when I was in a tiny, probably 5 or 6 years old, in like a safari suit, back in the day, big lapels, big flares. Yeah, and I'm probably about 5 years old, and I've still got real firm memories of stuff that I saw in the insect house there and things like that. And when I went back there later on as a keeper, I used to spend some time in London as well. The half of these places were still there, but some of them had gone. And then I went back there for my 50th birthday. Kelly sorted out a day for me to go there and what have you. And do you know what? I couldn't find any of the things that I remembered as when I was a kid. And it was soul destroying. It was probably one of the saddest days I've ever had. Because there was just nothing there. Nothing at all. The elephants had all gone. The big cats all gone. The aquarium all shut down. The reptile house was still going. But within a couple of months of our visit, they closed all that as well. So now London Zoo used to be the National Zoo. It was the biggest collection in the UK. Now it's it's not even a shadow of what it used to be. It can't, to my way of thinking, it can't even call itself a zoo anymore because it's just so run down and gone. It's such a shame. It's a crying shame. And when you consider what that has done over the years for general animal, captive animals and what have you, it should have been part of, the government should have been involved more in keeping that alive. But times change, people's opinions change.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, I think it's like TV and what have you. You don't any longer have to go to the zoo to see a lion. You can see one in your living room every day of the week.
Yep. Whenever you want.
Yeah. And that's changed. It's changed so much. And also as well, people's opinions. And this is what comes back to what we were saying earlier on, it's fine having an opinion, but at least have an educated opinion.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, much of what happens today, and we're talking about general life, much of the noise is coming from people that have got no actual idea.
Or
just
experience.
Just got a loud mouth.
Yeah.
And they feel it's trendy to jump on the bandwagon of whatever. And and it's changed so much, and it's changing everything every day of the week now. You've only got to look into the news now, and it's just chaos.
No, I don't need to look at the news anymore. It's too depressing.
Oh man, it's majorly depressing.
I don't bother.
The worst of it is much of the things that we're doing and suffering today is all because of people that had, have made a lot of noise and very little bloody knowledge.
Yeah,
it's a sad state of affairs, but that's where we are.
I think we'll have this one as the last question. So, Travis says, any tips on sourcing specific animals as I'm struggling to find female bullfrogs? I've got one, but ideally want 3 or 6 more.
Don't we all?
I
think you can
put it into
only
Google.
Really,
just for sale UK. Yeah. Or try the free ads, that type of thing. Your local reptile shops as well, because they're the guys that get it in. If you go to a show and you go and speak to Clayton over at Bug Nut, he has a lot to do with the reptile industry and frogs and things like that. He might be able to source you a few.
Yeah. I think just keep your eye on all the general stuff, Morph Market, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And you just got to take your chances. It's sometimes it takes a while to track things down. But yeah, they're out there. They are out there.
Track them down and at a reasonable price, because sometimes it goes to free ads, and we were saying this earlier, the price can sometimes triple and quadruple. Like £35 for African train millipedes.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
Does Dave have any spiders for sale at the moment, or maybe a list? Did you do lists and stuff like that, Dave, or is it just purely at the shows?
Yeah, I did. I used to post out an awful lot, but I've stopped posting. I haven't posted anything for a couple of months now, just purely down to time. I just haven't got time. You know, by the time I'm looking after everything that I've got, I work full time, doing YouTube videos. You know, I just haven't got time to come home and start boxing up spiders and sorting out posts and what have you. So I only sell at the shows
Yeah,
now. You know.
understandable.
Yeah, it's just too stressful otherwise. And I think as we were saying earlier on,
Appreciate it, Sultan.
you don't. I sort of lose touch with a lot of stuff. So I've changed a lot of what I'm doing, and I want to get back into enjoying it a bit more for me. You know, I've sort of lost a little bit of that, and that's mainly down to like YouTube and trying to do stuff all the time. You know, it's hard work. You know, doing a couple of videos a week is hard work, and
Damn
it's
straight.
yeah. I just want to get back to enjoying my stuff.
I don't think people realise how much time and effort it goes in because, like, the wife will tell you, Sunday night, forget any time with me because I'm filming and doing my Monday video.
Yeah,
Monday
yeah,
comes around, you got the premiere, so you're on YouTube again. Tuesday's live. Wednesday, you're filming for Thursday. Thursday, you got the premiere.
yeah, yeah. It is a constant thing, and do you know what? It's also it's a frustrating thing as well because you know you do all of this, and at the end of the day, everyone that watches it are watching it for free. You know, it doesn't cost anybody anything to go on YouTube and watch a video. You know, so it's yeah, you sit there and then you get someone to put a a snarky comment up about, oh, you know, I didn't come here to look at snakes, I come here to look at spiders. You know,
Well, fuck
it's
off and
free.
watch the spider video then.
Yeah, it's bloody free. You know what I mean? Where are you actually putting any hard work into anything? So it's sort of yeah, it can be a little bit frustrating, but I don't know. It's it's just hard work. Isn't it? People are hard work. I think.
Yeah, can be.
That's the thing. People are hard work, but no. Right. Well, it's been a lovely evening, and
I appreciate the time again. It's
I'm
been
I'm up
awesome
against
to catch up.
4:30.
It's been a little while, hasn't it?
Yes, yeah. It has. No, it's nice to get on and have an hour.
I mean, years ago we'd have time to have a proper chat at shows and stuff like that, but now we got no chance.
Oh man, it's just ridiculous. It's unless you can get in before the doors open, or you know you're still there when it's all closed up. It's just a no go. It's just impossible. And it's funny actually because I often say to people come up in the morning and they're like, oh, I just got a few questions, and I'm like, you need to come back at the end of the day because there's no time now. You know, it's just too busy. It's too crazy. I'll always try and find time for people, you know, and try and do whatever I can. But it's the first half of the show is just that's not the time to be having a conversation. It's just way too busy.
The only thing at this show that annoys me is one, I'm filming 2 videos, so I've got to film my own and then I'll do the official one for the Inverts channel as well.
Yeah.
But it's people will apologise for walking in front of the camera, and I'm like, don't apologise. You know, if you walk in front of the camera and literally black it all out, I can edit it out. It's not an issue. Never apologise for it.
Yeah. At the end of the day, it's a live, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? It's a live thing, so you got to work around it.
Yeah. Doesn't bother me at all.
No, I must admit, I enjoy the shows. I really do. So it's a nice time to let your hair down and you know, get to see people and what have you. Yeah, it's really nice. Yeah. I enjoy it a lot. Yeah.
Night, guys. Thanks for tonight. Thank you both for a great stream. We appreciate everything you do, guys. Awesome comments, man. Dan said I'd wait for you, Dave. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Awesome live. Thanks for taking the time, guys. No worries. I normally do a live stream. If this is your first time to my live streams, I normally do a live stream on a Tuesday. Sometimes I have guests on. Sometimes I have good friends on, like Dave. Sometimes we do open mic nights where I'll put a link in the comments and you can come up on screen, chat about spiders, chat about any animals, chat about life in general, or show us around your own collection, whatever you want to do as well on the open mics. They can be pretty interesting, and there's certainly no pressure on people to come up on stream on open mic nights. And the comment section always has the guests back as well, I find. So yeah, if you've never been on a live stream and you fancy coming on one, just keep an eye out for one of my open mics and come jump on it. It's easier than you think. You get time backstage to check your settings before I can even see you to allow you on screen as well. But yeah, there you go.
Yeah, it's cool.
But appreciate everybody in the comments. It's been awesome, Dave. Thank you very, very much as normal.
No, it's been a lovely evening. It's been nice seeing all the stuff coming up on the chat there, and it's nice to be able to answer all the questions as well. Just getting there, and makes it good for everybody. I really enjoyed it.
Definitely.
That was lovely. We will do it again.
Sounds good to me, bro. Sounds good to me. Right, good night, everybody. Take care. And hopefully you're all coming to the Bristol show on the 26th of July. I think it is. Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
Definitely is. But yeah, night, everybody. Take care.
Lovely job. Cheers, buddy. Ta-da.
See you in a bit.
Bye.